If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations. With 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
The final weekend of the Cape's regular season is finally upon us. It's Intern Appreciation Day here on the Middle Cape, and especially here at McKeon Park. So happy to have you with us. Taking a look at Mickey Doolittle, Michael Kirsting, and Bria Losick, and our fabulous production crew as well that's down there right now, as me and Nico Sharp hold down the fort up here in the Tim Elstrom Broadcast Center. I'm Jacob Iron. So happy to have you with us here. Playoffs are officially solidified. We know the 8 teams that will be in attendance on Friday in competing. However, we just don't know the seeding quite yet between all of these teams yet. As you can see right here, Wareham and Chatham, have been eliminated. As for Cotuit, they're pacing and trying to lock up the 1 seed. They can do it with a couple more wins. And for the 2 teams here tonight between Orleans and Hyannis, it's 2 very different situations. For Orleans, they control their own destiny. They'll play Harwich tomorrow, and if they beat Harwich, they would solidify themselves at the worst that they could do would be the 2 seed. And they could make a run for the 1 seed if they win here tonight, continue their winning streak, and play YD, who is currently, as you see, pacing the East. If they could win that head-to-head matchup, that would push them enough over to surpass the Sox to get the 1 seed in the East. Then on the other side, it's Hyannis. They don't necessarily control their fate as much, but they just have to win right now. They have to win out potentially to try and get the 1 seed, and to get the 1 seed, they're going to need some help from around the league to try and take down Cotuit so that they're able to make up some really strong ground in this game tonight. Game was a great one last night, highlighted by Obermueller, who steps in to talk with our own Bria Losick.
From McKeon Park, I'm Bria Losick alongside Cade Obermueller from Iowa. Cade, you've been up here pretty much all summer and have gotten to know these guys pretty well. Who do you think is the biggest clown on the team, just jokester?
The biggest jokester? Probably Darren Horn. Yeah, I'd say Darren. Yeah, he's a clown. Yeah, total clown.
You spend a lot of time in the bullpen. What are some of your favorite things to do down there? I've seen a lot of hacky sack.
Yeah, I'd say hacky sack's one of my main things. We played that back at Iowa, and a lot of the guys love it here. So yeah, we've been playing that a lot. I love that. Yeah.
Zach Volker is on the bump today. You know him pretty well, playing with him at Iowa and now up here. Did he give you any advice before you came up here since he was here last year?
Yeah, I mean, he was my roommate back at Iowa, travel. I'm really close to Zach, and yeah, he's helped me a lot out here. Can't remember an exact piece of advice, but yeah, he gave me a lot coming out here, what to expect, and yeah, he's helped me a lot. Yeah, he's been really good to me. Yeah.
I was talking to Coach Ray Korn before in the bullpen, and he said that you especially ask the most questions out of all the pitchers, really trying to learn. What have you learned the most from him this summer?
I mean, he kind of has an older school approach, which I really like, and that's what my dad's always taught me. My dad played back in the day, but a lot of the stuff that him and my dad say really align, so I'm open to hearing what he's got to say. And it's a lot of simple stuff, so I ask a lot of those questions, and just about being repeatable, and it's helped me a lot. Yeah, just asking those repeatable questions. Yeah.
Are there any specific adjustments that you've made over the summer?
One of the main ones, and we always talk about that, is staying on line, and that one of those things was keeping my glove up is the main thing, and staying on line, not letting my shoulders pull off, and that was one of the main questions and the adjustments I made. Yeah, a lot along that line. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Cade.
Thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Back to you guys in the booth.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Hell, Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Hell, Mama.
And on this Intern Appreciation Day, our Dugout Show gets a little intern inspiration as well, as Mickey Doolittle caught up with Cole Vellis, Harrison Rubin, and baseball ops Mikey about all that goes on behind the scenes.
Back with you here on the Dugout Show. I'm here with Mikey Lucario, Cole Vellis, and Harrison Rubin, each interns on the baseball ops team. It is Interns Day here in Hyannis, and Cole, I'm going to start with you. Interns are the lifeblood of this organization. What has the experience been along these fellow interns?
It's been really enjoyable. I mean, I know for these guys, it's like all the players say it's the best summer of their lives. They come up, they get to live their dreams, and for us, it's like it's the same thing, right? You get to meet a whole new group of people, make a whole new group of best friends with the same interests as you. You know, put in a lot of time, but you bond through it, and you get more than a regular work week worth of time, and you're going to start to like the people around you. So it's awesome. It's a really cool experience, and anyone who has the chance to do it should take the chance to do it. It's well worth it.
Yeah, and I'm going to go over to Mikey here. This team has been red hot recently. They lost to Katuitt last night, but it was a hard-fought effort. What did you see out of that game?
I
I thought on the mound we looked great. I mean, aside from a couple mistake pitches from Darren Horn, he had an excellent game aside from those 2 sliders. Katuitt is a team that they have just a few guys that if you let them beat you, they'll beat you bad. And I mean, they do damage. And I thought we put together good at bats. We had a lot of base runners, a lot of guys in scoring position, but just kind of unable to capitalize. So hopefully we can push those guys across today, follow through, put some runs on the board.
And I'm going to go to Harrison last here. Harrison, looking at tonight, what's the key to winning against Orleans?
I think the key to winning is doing what we call classic Hyannis Hard Rocks baseball, limiting the big inning, getting the pitching down, execution, and just trying to limit the damage.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us on the Dugout Show, and let's go out and get a win tonight.
Thank you so much. Coaches meeting. Skipper Eric Beatty and Kelly Nicholson as the Hyannis Harbor Hawks play host to the Orleans Firebirds, the 2 second-place teams in their respective divisions. Now, with Intern Appreciation Day all set and done, Michael Kirsting and Mickey Doolittle join me up in the booth. Guys, going to have a great day tonight, but not just because of the weather, but because of the game that's going to be on the field.
It's going to be interesting to see because Orleans comes in as a team that's played Hyannis pretty closely. Bar that last meeting that was a complete blowout. It was a boat race. Hyannis came in and just started scoring run after run after run. Maybe the score even suggesting a little bit more of a blowout than it actually was because of the position players that came in for Orleans at the end of the game. But for the most part, Orleans has played Hyannis really closely this season, and it will be really interesting and a great pitching matchup tonight.
Yeah, Orleans is a team that was maybe sitting a bit closer towards the middle, bottom of the pack, but now they have put themselves all the way up into second place and back above 500, too. They were sitting below 500 for the first part of the season, but now 21-19 coming into today's game. They've cemented themselves in the playoffs. Spot's not determined just yet, but depending on the result here, they could even have a run in at first place, have a shot at YD.
Yeah.
So even though the spots are not completely set yet, still plenty to play for. Orleans sure knows that.
Yeah, and they control their own destiny. But we'll take a quick break and talk about the starting pitcher on the other side right here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Hell, Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Hell, Mama.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Welcome you back to McKeon Park on an absolutely gorgeous day here at McKeon Park. Fabulous weather on hand here tonight for these two teams, about as picture perfect. The past 2 days have been steamers, but tonight 72 degrees, an absolute perfect day for baseball. And man, oh man, I don't know about you, but I am ready for this one.
And the humidity's gone. That's the big thing. That's the big thing. 72 can feel like 90 if you got a ton of humidity and it's sticky. But, man, it's all gone. It's drier, and it's nice. Our producer, Nico Sharp, was complaining about being cold. Can you imagine that? After the last 3 weeks that we had, it's been cold.
I mean, the Texan like him, used to that hot weather. But, yeah, I'm pretty happy that it's cooled off a little bit. This is what they say in the business as a beautiful night for baseball.
Beautiful night for baseball that Zach Volker will take the mound for Hyannis. Volker out of Iowa making his 6th start of the summer here from the Hawkeye.
Yeah, Volker, a guy that's mainly going to use that fastball as well as a slider. Will mix in an occasional changeup and a curveball, but there's you see the numbers. 1-1 with a 4.19 ERA and 19 1/3 innings pitched. His last appearance, 4 innings, 2 earned, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts, and only 2 walks.
Yeah, hard to follow up a no-hit appearance at Wareham 2 starts ago, but he's done just about as well as he could have. As you mentioned, making 2 runs in the last appearance against Harwich, and before that, just 1 run in 4 innings against Bourne. Volker's really making a case for himself to be the day 1 starter in the playoffs for Hyannis.
He was last year. He is a returner here for the Harbor Hawks, and he'll go up against this Orleans Firebirds lineup that has been so deadly, and a team that through the first game of the year, now here to one of the last games, has stayed pretty consistent in their 1 through 9.
Yeah, Joe Oyama, their leadoff hitters, one of the best hitters in the league, hitting .368. That's good for 3rd in the batting title chase, 2nd in slugging, and 1st in OPS. He is a formidable foe for Volker. Fenwick Trimble plays right out of James Madison, hits 2nd. Jack Penny, the shortstop out of Notre Dame, hits 3rd. Matt Hallback out of UC San Diego plays 1st and hits cleanup. Eddie Micheletti out of George Washington University DHs and hits 5th. Eddie King, the great hitter out of Louisville, the center fielder, hits 6th. Brandon Stallman, the 3rd baseman out of Charlotte, hits 7th. Colin Tuft, the left fielder out of Virginia, hits 8th. And then Henry Hunter, the catcher, rounds out the lineup out of UAB.
Both teams ready to go. Joe Oyama, the 2nd baseman, like you touched upon, one of the league leaders. 3rd right now in batting average with .368 coming into today's ball game. It's been absolutely stellar, as well as he's had his fair share of opportunities in the box as well, coming in 5th in the league with 133 at-bats.
A guy like Cam Smith that plays every day.
And we're underway in Hyannis. They'll say he went around. Umpires today in this contest will be Silvio Martinez Jr. behind home plate. At first base will be Warren Nicholson. And down the 3rd base line will be Joseph Labella, rounding out your 3-man crew from United Collegiate Umpires. The 0-1 misses outside, 1-1 on Joe Oyama.
Part of that .368 average is 6 triples. Where do you see that in the league here? We've talked about the dimensions of YD's park.
Now with a slow dribble, that's going to stay fair. Smith up with it and won't be able to beat it down the line with the speedy Oyama.
All good, baby. Come on now, boys. Yeah, you need speed to get those triples, and you need speed to leg out infield hits like that. Saw the English on that ball, kicked back from foul territory, back into fair territory with the spin on it, and Oyama ran it out the whole way. He saw it the whole way, and credit to him for sticking with the play all the way through.
Yeah, Kim Smith maybe not saw it off the bat. He saw it starting to roll foul, and he just kind of stayed in his position. Can't fault him. That had some crazy wicked spin on it.
Fenwick Trimble, the right fielder, settle in with a base runner on. Start things off. With the defensive alignment today for the Harbor Hawks, go Lipsy, Mitchell, Taylor left to right in the outfield. Smith, Snow, Gazdar, Ike. The battery partner of Volker today is Bennett Thompson. York will be the DH. Trimble fouls the 1-0 away to move the count to 1-1.
And we've talked about this Hyannis defense improving a lot recently and have gotten their fielding percentage up to 8th in the league. That was 9th or 10th for a very long time, but now tied for 8th. They've looked a lot better in recent weeks.
Tremble looks at a strike on the outer part of the plate. For a team that we talk about was starting to figure themselves out, and now since really you got all your guys, now you're into this later part of the season, they're starting to jive with each other and start to figure out the defenses. That one's lined right back up the middle and out of the snaring glove of Volker. 2 aboard now for the Firebirds to start things off here quickly.
Yeah, good piece of hit and just sent it right where it came from. And just to finish the thought on the defense, it's continuity that really helps you out. Everybody talks about it. Everybody indirectly hasn't used the word continuity, but they reference that sameness just every day playing together with these guys, especially up the middle of that infield with Snow and Gazdar and Mitchell.
Volker will face Jack Penny. Slow dribbler up over to Gazdar. They go to Snow at second. Say he lost it on the transition, but it will be the out to put runners on the corners now with Volker is getting his first out here today in his outing.
And as we take a look, we'll see the soft hands and the smooth hands of John Gazdar there, and Snow there. You see it, lost it on the transfer. Would have been a tough play either way to get Penny, but that's what you get is defensive assurance. Wherever the ball is hit, if John Gazdar is there, it's almost certainly going to be an out.
At Hallback, the first baseman looks at a strike. Hallback 6 right now on Cape with a .346 batting average. Oh, 1 to Hallback. Floats away, 1-1.
Just going back to the play there by Gazdar, was weak enough where he could have even gone to first, but instead he knows that he can get that out at second. You need that assurance in your head. You can't hesitate on those plays with the speed of Penny busting it down the line at first. Good play by Gazdar to be sure.
1-1. Breaking ball catching the outer part of the zone. 1-2.
There's that slider from Volker. A lot of movement on it. Just snaps in there.
1-2, swing and a miss, foul tip back into the glove of Thompson. 2 retired here with Volker trying to work out of the runners on jam he's put himself in.
Yeah, and then he comes back with that fastball, mostly fastball slider, and just does a great job of elevating it above the zone, raise that eye level, and even if that's taken for a ball, you can come right back down low with that slider that you've raised the eye level with. Even in just having 2 pitches, you can sequence them really nicely like Volker can.
0-0 pitch to Eddie Micheletti, designated hitter today. Fabulous athlete, but an even better person Micheletti is. Stands in, taking his talents from George Washington to Virginia Tech.
I wonder what school he goes to now.
Yeah, Virginia Tech. Breaking ball off the plate, 2-0. Micheletti playing for the Mystic Schooners last summer. My team that I was able.
The connection.
There was the connection.
Yeah. There it is.
Nick played for me last year with the Mystic Schooners out of the NECBL as he looks at a pitch off the plate. 3-0. You were teeing up for the Notre Dame there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we can't hit it every time.
Jack Penny. I was surprised there was no Notre Dame reference in Jack Penny.
It was so quick.
Yeah, that's true.
3-0, pitch upstairs. Micheletti works a disciplined at-bat to load the bases with 2 away here for the Firebirds to bring up Eddie King Jr.
Now, that's why striking out Halbach is so big now with the bases loaded. You can get the out anywhere, and it's just a sure out. You don't have to be able to think about getting too quick with it now. You just have to get the one out. Be sure as to where you're going.
They'll shift Gazdar over to be directly behind second base. 0-0 pitch to King. Catches the inside part. Take a look at it there with Gazdar playing directly up the middle. Bases loaded behind Volker. The 0-1 delivery catches the bottom part of the zone. 0-2. The center fielder is behind the count. And now already some early chirping. Silver Martinez Jr., the home plate umpire, asking to stop it over from the Orleans dugout early in this one. The 0-2 delivery, breaking ball that gets away from Thompson. Off the netting and coming in sliding will be Joe Oyama. Firebirds strike first. They lead 1-0 here in the top of the first.
Yeah, just a fastball that got away from Volker. And back to the screen, you almost wonder what would have happened if it hit the backstop on that blue padding right there. It might have been a much more favorable bounce for Thompson to maybe shovel it onto Volker covering home, but it hits the net and just kind of dies against that backstop. That's a big part of that play that might get lost in it.
1-2 delivery, pitch upstairs. King holds on it.
And you heard the Orleans dugout there just explode. They love it because they know how big that all of these games are. This is the business end of the season. They control their own destiny from here on out. They want every call going their way because it really could affect them going forward into the postseason.
2-2. Grounder over to Snow. From the hole, fires in time to Ike. It's a 6-3 put out. Could have been a lot worse. Orleans only gets one across. Harbor Hawks picking up their bats for the first time on the other side here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You gotta come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
Orleans struck first on the wild pitch. Oyama's able to touch home. This will be the Hyannis Harbor Hawks lineup that tries to get things rolling to try and respond.
As they always do, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks lineup will try to respond. Nick Mitchell, the center fielder committed to Indiana, talked to him before the game. He said he's really excited for the season that they're going to be having in Bloomington. He played center field and leads off. Cam Smith up to second, as is Mitchell to first in the lineup. He plays third, back in the field after the half day off at the DH spot yesterday against Cotuit. Zach York, the designated hitter, hits third. Brandon Ike plays first today. We've seen him play each of the corners of the infield. He plays first and cleans up. Will Taylor plays right field and hits fifth. We saw Bennett Thompson doing the catching. He bats sixth. And Trey Lipsy, John Gazdar, and Eric Snow, the left fielder, second baseman, and shortstop, respectively, bat seventh, eighth, and ninth for Hyannis. Notable off man is Zach Earhart. He's played a lot of the last few games, and he's been a big contributor to the recent win streak that just came to a halt last night against Cotuit. So the managing staff thought that this would be a good night to give him off. And hey, he's on the bench, so if they need him, they could bring him on as a pinch hitter.
Ivan Romero from the University of San Diego gets the start tonight for the Firebirds. He kicks and fires. Mitchell flies that one foul. Arrow going into his senior year for the with a 6.75 ERA out here on Cape through 13 1/3 innings pitched. Be his fourth start of the summer. 0-1. Mitchell bloops it into shallow right center field. Oyama over his shoulder, makes the grab. What a play by Joe Oyama.
Yeah, take another look here. It's just a little flare almost into the Bermuda Triangle, if you will. And that's Oyama's ball there because they've got the outfield shifted back a bit. King and Trimble are shaded a little deeper than normal. So Oyama's got to get that, and he does. Reaches up to make a nice play, a really tough one for the second baseman, especially fighting the sun.
Cam Smith goes around on the first pitch he sees from Romero.
And that's the versatility he brings. We've talked about it. He's great at the plate. He singled and came home to score the first run of this game. Now making his presence felt in the field. He's got great range at second base, can steal bases, can hit for contact. Not a ton of power at the plate. Still can take you deep, but a guy that is pretty close to a five-tool player.
Cam Smith looks at an even pitch. He foul tips it back into Hunter's glove. Finding the count 1-2. Marrow has worked with a little bit of traffic behind him. Comes in with a 1.57 whip on the season. The 1-2, they'll check down. Warren Nicholson, the first base umpire on appeal, says Smith went around. Let's take a look at how the Firebirds stack up defensively tonight.
Yeah, Tuft, King, and Trimble, outfield left to right. Now the infield left to right. Stallman, Penny, Oyama, and Hallback. And then behind the plate is Henry Hunter, the battery mate of Romero. And Michaeletti doing the designated hitting tonight.
0-0 pitch. Catches the outer part of the zone against Zach York, the designated hitter out of Grand Canyon University.
York has just come in and been fantastic for Hyannis.
0-1 popped up in no man's land in center field. And out of the reach of the streaking King. Thought he had it. Penny was out there converging as well. And it's a bloop-in single for Zach York.
So this right here illustrates why that play that Oyama just made is so crazy, because Penny kind of had to travel less ground and was looking up into the sun. He had to deal with a lot of factors, the same factors that Oyama had to deal with, but just wasn't able to track it down. He should have turned and ran his shoulders and ran towards it, but couldn't cover enough ground just backpedaling.
First pitch in on Brandon Ike, the first baseman, is a ball.
Ike, a new addition to this lineup.
1-0, grounded directly at Oyama. Underhands over to Penny at second base to go the short way. York's blooper as he gets left stranded at second base. Ends it in the first. We go to the second here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark. Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Welcome back to McKeon Park, where the lights shine bright all season long thanks to the Knack Cape Cod. Offering 2 convenient locations on Cape Cod, the Knack is the perfect spot for a burger, taco, or even a milkshake. Visit knackcapecod.com to order online today. The Knack Cape Cod is the official Light Up the Park sponsor of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Through 1, Orleans leads 1-0. We talk about it, especially with the speedy Joe Oyama, who's been everything you want out of a leadoff man. Now that you don't have to lead off with him here in this inning, it'll be Stallman, Tuft, and Hunter, 7, 8, and 9 in these Firebirds line. It's got to be a little bit more of a sigh of relief here for Volker.
But what makes the lineup even less navigable is that you let one guy on, you have to face Oyama again. So that means you got to get these guys down in order, so you make sure that you have to get down so you don't face Oyama again here for the second time in as many innings.
Navigable.
Yeah,
I like it.
navigable.
I like it.
Breaking ball that misses low below the knees of Stallman.
I haven't used that to describe Hyannis' lineup yet.
I don't think so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, not today.
No,
Maybe
definitely not
you have
today.
another day, but navigatable. Yeah, that's not what it is.
1-0. Grounder over to Gazdar. Up with it and fires in time for the first out of the top of the second.
My elementary school grammar teacher, if you're watching, I'm sorry. Navigatable. Wow. Gazdar making another nice play. Ball was just scorched on the ground. Again, that's, you mentioned it, Michael, earlier. That slick hands really serves him well at that second base position. Can also play shortstop. Two big positions defensively.
Walker kicks and fires in for a strike against Colin Tuft.
I think our producer, Josh Schreiber, is a real big John Gazdar fan, and since he's come here, the amount of double plays that have been turned, as well as the
0-1. Just out of the reach of the leaping Gazdar to drop in right center field. Tuft will get on with a single with one away.
And even there you see Gazdar with the effort, too. We've talked about how much he wants to be here, play for this team. And it shows right there. He's putting out the effort every single time. And even if there's a play that he may not be expected to make, he's going to go all out there as he did. He's not going to make every one of them. But that's a really nice effort there from John at second, even though it's just out of his reach.
And what makes him so special is he's an even better person. I know Mickey Doolittle will have an inside the nest coming out with him soon, as you're able to catch up with him pregame.
Next day or two, talked about growing up in Northern California, and his dad is actually on the medical staff for the training staff for the San Francisco Giants, working under Dave Greschner.
First pitch to Hunter. Misses inside. Other ball runs inside.
His brother, both of his brothers, he's the youngest, played JUCO baseball, community college baseball as well.
2-0 upstairs. 3-0 against Henry Hunter. And he quotes them as some of his biggest role models for how he's been able to grow and develop to play the game of baseball and learned it all from them.
I'm the oldest sibling. I didn't get to learn from an older sibling. I set the tone.
3-0 pitch misses inside.
I set the standard high. I got to say that.
Now 2 aboard to bring up Joe Oyama.
How about you? You're an oldest sibling.
I am the oldest sibling.
Yeah.
I am too.
You're an oldest sibling.
I'll
No
see
younger
with,
siblings in this
No.
broadcast team? Wow.
I'll see with my parents how high I set the standard. I like to think high.
Walker will face Oyama for the second time today. So Oyama fouls it away.
Big at bat here. After Oyama singled and scored, he's one of the most dangerous hitters in the league. And now you bring him up again with a runner in scoring position here. So this is a big at bat early in this game.
0-1. Breaking ball at 74 miles an hour. Falls in for a ball.
That looked like a rare curveball from Volker. That curveball on the collegiate season, didn't throw it very often.
1-1. Misses inside, forcing Oyama off the plate. 2-1.
Under 5% of the time, in the velocity ranged from 68 miles an hour to 78. So a 10-mile-an-hour difference. There it was 74.
2-1, misses upstairs.
So we'll see where he ends up sitting with it if he continues to throw it. But right now he needs to throw a strike to Oyama.
Faced with some more traffic behind him. Double play is a possibility here with one retired in the top of the second. Breaking ball upstairs. Bases now loaded for the second time today for Zach Volker.
Yeah, and escaping only giving up one run feels like it would be as much of a win for Volker as it would have been back in the first. So here with only one out, just trying to keep that ball on the ground, and Eric Luxus is probably going to go out and tell him that exact phrase.
It's third walk already through an inning and a third pitched on this gorgeous Sunday night in Hyannis.
His season high is 4 walks that came against Bourne 2 starts ago. He's commanded the zone pretty well. He's in all starts except one. He's got at least 4 strikeouts. So finding the zone hasn't been a problem in past starts, but now here with 3 walks through only now 10 batters, this is one where you have to get Volker to lock back in, especially with a guy like Fenwick Trimble coming up to the plate.
Conference is broken up on the bump. Volker takes a little bit of a walk off the mound to refocus himself.
All you 7. Come on, Volk.
Trimble fouls it over press box here at McKeon Park. 0-1.
Yeah, a couple of MVP candidates playing in this game. Of course, Oyama as well as Cam Smith. 2 guys that have just been Ironmen for their respective teams. Smith started every game.
0-1, misses inside. 1-1. Smith playing a step away from the grass right now to try and prevent Tuft from coming in to score if necessary, along with Ike to come in to play a step away on the right-hand corner. The 1-1 delivery. Right. 87-mile-an-hour pitch. Upstairs, 2-1.
Yeah, just overthrowing just a little bit right now. Settle down just a little bit. Probably what Eric Luxus told him. Ooh.
2-1. Off the plate at 93 miles an hour.
Yeah, good fastball. Just pulled it just a little bit off the plate. Probably wanted that one an inch or 2 to the right. Thompson unable to frame it.
Foul tip back into the glove of Thompson to load the count full.
And I love coming back with the fastball there. He just elevated it, went right at him, challenged him up and in, able to get the swing and foul tip.
Payoff delivery from Volker. Gets Trimble to foul it away. We'll do it again full.
Yeah, each of those last 2 pitches was delivered by Volker, knowing that Trimble would probably swing, and whether it be a defensive manner or one where he's going to actually try and do something with it. So good awareness from Volker there to recognize that Trimble is protecting, especially on the full count pitch. Could have been called ball 4. Let's see what he comes back with here after setting the tone with 2 fastballs.
Blooper into shallow right field. Sliding and not able to make the grab is Taylor. Coming in to score will be Tuft. It'll be station to station for the rest of them. Hunter moves over to third. Oyama to second, and Trimble gets aboard at first. Firebirds leading 2-0.
Yeah, after 4 straight fastballs, he comes back with the slider, able to get the result that he wanted. He put that in a perfect spot. He had Trimble reaching for it out away from the plate, but just an unfortunate result. 68-mile-an-hour exit velocity. That's going to be an out most of the time.
Volker sets and fires to Jack Penny. He looks at a ball. Penny grounded into a fielder's choice. Back in the top of the first. 1-0 breaking ball at 75, 12-6 movement, dunks in on the upper part of the zone to tie the count at 1 apiece.
Yeah, that's another curveball. Again, didn't throw many of those during the collegiate season, but that's at least 2 that we've seen.
1-1 tattooed to center field, sends Mitchell back all the way to the track, making it from the warning track, and tagging to come in on the sacrifice will be Hunter, and moving is Oyama from second to third. Firebirds now lead 3-0.
Yeah, Penny really gave that ball a ride. It sent Mitchell almost all the way back to the chain link fence in front of the 379 side. And there it was again. As Volker might have had a few scary moments there, but nice play from Mitchell to be able to just limit it to 1 and keep it out of sac fly. Now putting away just the first out. Well, now the second out, beg your pardon, of the inning.
96 miles an hour off the bat. Probably had a very high expected batting average.
It traveled 370 feet, just center about 379, missing a couple extra feet to be able to get it over the high fence here at McKeon Park. 0-1. Dribbler back up the middle. I'll score Oyama easily. Matt Hallback gets another single to put 2 aboard here.
Yeah, again, another run coming across the score. That's a good result there from Volker. 81 miles an hour off the bat, just kind of went off the end of it, but was able to find an open space in the defense. Volker is really buckled down with the bases loaded and made good pitches, but unfortunate results.
Micheletti pops it up into shallow left field. Snows under it and makes the grab. However, Firebirds strike for 3 more. They lead 4-0 going to the bottom of the second.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Welcome you back to McKeon Park. Firebirds leading 4-0 on this Intern Appreciation Day with some beautiful weather. Fans are out in attendance here tonight. Lawn chairs out, fans packing the bleachers, all getting ready for a great baseball game that's still in its early innings. As we move to the bottom of the second, will be Taylor, Thompson, and Lipsy due up for the Harbor Hawks. 5, 6, 7 in the order. Will Taylor out of Clemson.
Got to find an answer here. Taylor, the leadoff hitter, serves really well as a leadoff hitter. A lot of contact hitting in his game. He can get on base, a lot of speed as well.
Yeah, this is the part of the game where you really need the response here. They've just put up 4 runs on you in 2 innings. They just brought 8 to the plate last inning, did Orleans. So they want to be able to at least get 1 or 2 up here. You've got a lot of baseball left to be played, which is the bright side. Hyannis knows how to come back from deficits, so it just starts with 1, and preferably you would get that this inning.
Orleans 14-9 when scoring first.
0-1, misses off the plate, 1-1. But then you also have to look at the 5th inning, which is also going to be very key here for both these teams, as Orleans, when leading after 5, is 12-1. Hyannis is 14-1 when leading after 5, as Taylor scorches that one down in front of Tuft. In left field, Taylor aboard to lead things off in the bottom of the second.
And loud, clean contact. That's the key. That's going to infuse some energy into the dugout as that brings up Bennett Thompson. But that's a really good way to start off as we see it right there again.
A fastball at the outer third of the plate. Taylor was ready for that. A fastball away, able to pull it into left field. He was on it, all over it. 97 off the bat, one of his hardest hit balls all year.
First pitch to Bennett Thompson, the catcher today.
And you need to be so talented to be able to cover that much of the plate. You don't go diving out over the plate. You don't expose yourself to that. That's not what Taylor did. He was just ready for it on the outer third of the plate, able to get extended on it.
1-0, misses upstairs and away. 2-0. Bennett Thompson, since coming on, another later addition to this team, now is 3 for 10, batting a clean .300 with big hits those 3 have been. 2-0, drops in for a strike. You look at his 2 walks yesterday in his pinch hit appearance. Very huge against a really tough pitcher in Cam Schulke.
Yeah, he looked really good too. He worked his count, full count.
Taylor set in motion. Thompson launches that one. And into the glove of Tuft, leaping out to the wall. Scampering back to first will be Taylor. A hard hit ball with a little bit of the deeper part of this park.
A fastball up and in that he just tattoos out to left field. Wasn't quite able to get fully extended on it, but got enough of it to give it a ride. And a great play by Tuft to come all the way out and grab it.
Yeah, you saw Romero's body language there. He thought that he had gotten all of it. That ball center cut, and he's put a good swing on it, but just not enough.
Lipsy, little knuckler into center field. King ranges over to make the grab. 2 retired. It's now John Gazdar will settle into the box, who over the last couple of days has come into his own.
Yeah, he has looked really, really good here with Hyannis. 4-game hit streak, 667 average, 4 runs batted in. He's a guy that also brings so much to the field as well as with the bat in his hand. And with this Hyannis team, at the beginning of the year, they were kind of a 3 true outcome ball club. They liked their home runs, they liked hitting for power, they liked gap-to-gap power, and they were okay with taking strikeouts, and they were okay with walking. And John, what he's done is he's kind of balanced that out a little bit. He's much more of a contact hitter. He doesn't strike out very much, but he's balanced out the lineup and added in somebody that can just plain old get on base and make good contact with it and punish defenses.
1-1 to Gazdar, up above the knees, 1-2. And you talk about how high a player baseball ops was on John Gazdar, being able to watch him in his previous summer ball team when they were scouting him, trying to see if he was going to be the right fit and the right turnaround.
Being high on John is an understatement for what this baseball ops team, especially Cole Vellis. He was raving about John Gazdar, especially coming over from the Walnut Creek Crawdads, his hometown summer collegiate baseball team.
2-2 delivery to Gazdar. Chopper that will stay fair. Stallman around third base and fires in time for a clean 5-3 putout. Will Taylor leads things off with a single, but gets stranded at first. Through 2, Orleans leading 4-0.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Push on to the third here at McKeon Park. Firebirds leading 4-0. It'll be Eddie King Jr., Brandon Stallman, and Tuft to lead things off for the Firebirds that has already struck early. They have 5 hits in this game and have been able to take advantage of those 5 hits, getting 4 across.
Yeah, their bat control has really impressed me in this game. Able to find just open green grass throughout the field, maybe not hitting the ball particularly hard. Their hard hit balls have found infield gloves and outfield gloves, but they've done a good job of being able to use that bat control, staying within themselves, and being okay with taking a single.
First pitch to King is inside and low, 1-0. Upstairs now, 2-0 against King, and that's been a little bit of Volker's Achilles heel so far today, is just trying to get it into the zone.
Yeah, and getting ahead in counts. It's something he hasn't really been able to do quite yet, but certainly something that he's able to do, as we saw in his outing against Wareham a couple of weeks ago, in which he didn't allow a hit through 5 innings. But Volker just needs to settle down a little bit here, continue to make his pitch just like he did right there.
Yeah, perhaps change the the thought process a little bit. Maybe pitch to contact. That'll allow your guys to maybe see a few more pitches in the zone. But hey, regardless if you get a hit, if you're the Falmouth, or excuse me, the Orleans guys, got 7 fielders behind you.
2-2 is fouled back on a 77-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
Commodore's nowhere in sight today.
No,
Michael.
they're not. They're not.
King batting .243.
Them and their 27-2 win the other day.
I mean,
any excuse to bring that up again.
Yeah.
2-2 lined right back and in between Gazdar's legs and fires in time. Able to get up with it. Gazdar shifted directly over behind second base, and perfect placement to hit the first out here in the top of the third.
And there's your pitching to contact right there, because it goes right between Volker. He just about missed it, but that's why you look at your analytics and place your fielders where you think they're going to hit the ball. They give the right side open, and if Gazdar is not there, that's going up the middle. But great work from Volker to be able to pitch to the weaknesses there.
Weak tapper, back to Volker. He gets it to Ike in time. 2 retired here.
Yeah, 2 really good pitches right there. Just jammed it with a fastball in at 92. And those are the pitches that we saw him make a couple of weeks ago at Wareham. Able to just keep it on the edges, especially with that fastball. If he's able to locate that fastball, that's his tell. That's how you know he's going to be really, really good.
Nothing pitch to Colin Tuft.
But now he's pitching a little bit closer to the zone here. He's trying to put those in the zone, because now he's going to allow Orleans to see some pitches, but he knows and has the confidence in the fielders behind him that he'll be able to pitch to contact, because he's got clean, solid fielders behind him. And with that confidence, it allows him to pitch more into the zone and be a little bit more okay with just going a bit more route one.
1-1. Scorched to Smith. Takes a couple hops and fires in time to Ike.
Nice inning.
It's a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Volker. And now for more. Send it down to Bria Lasik, who is patrolling our dugouts. Bria, what's going on down there? Having a little bit of technical difficulties with Bria's mic here, as able to push on for Romero, who's trying to get it going. And when you talk about these two teams, Hyannis is going to need to respond to get themselves closer.
Yeah, and it's going to take innings like that from Zach Volker and from this bullpen that they'll inevitably dip into. It's keeping them scoreless and keeping this lead at a 4-run manageable lead is going to be key, because this offense can strike for however many they want at any given time, as we saw in the last meet against Orleans last week. But still keeping that within range is key.
Especially slam range as well. You've got 4 runs to work with, all the ball game left to work with as well. 21 outs here as we go into the bottom of the third. We're going to start things off here with Snow and then the top of the order. It's exactly who you want in Mitchell and Smith coming up second and third respectively in this inning. So time for Hyannis to respond, as it's only a 4-run lead that is more than attainable with this much left of the ball game to be played.
Yeah, and you talk about that 9 spot, kind of the second leadoff spot. Eric Snow trying to set the table for the top of the lineup. That 9 spot, you know, yes, you see that hitter at the bottom of the lineup, but in the last couple of years of position of pitchers actually hitting in the major leagues, you saw a lot of teams go towards putting that pitcher in the 8th spot, because they understood setting the table for the top of the lineup is so important.
One-0 to Snow is popped up and out of play. Now 1-1. For Snow out of UCF. Still 1-1. Chopper into the snaring glove of Penny. He'll throw it away. Snow's able to get aboard and do exactly what you talked about. Set the table here for the Harbor Hawks to get to the top of the lineup in Nick Mitchell.
Yeah, not sure why Penny threw this ball. He does a great job to stab it. Great shot by our center field camera, but then throws it. He was trying to maybe shoot into a basket in the Orleans dugout over there and just came up a little bit short. But still, that's going to be ruled a single. Snow put it in a great spot, able to really move out of that box, get down the line quickly, and beat out a single.
Mitchell looks at a pitch upstairs. It'll be ruled an error.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Snow in motion. Mitchell pops it up into foul territory.
I don't know. That was a tough one, because Snow just possesses so much speed, and the Penny, the shortstop, he just had to rush that throw, and that's ultimately what created the problem. If Snow would have taken an extra base, that might have been an error because of the throwing error, but it was him quickly getting down the line that really made Penny rush that throw. As there's a ground ball. Nice play by Oyama.
They'll hold on a void, trying to turn 2. Hard hit ball by Mitchell gets him aboard for Cam Smith to now come up with a runner on the bottom of the third.
Yeah, we were just talking about how Orleans' soft contact has found the outfield, as well as Hyannis' hard contact just finding the back of some of the gloves. It's just not been going Hyannis' way so far, because that's another really hard hit ball that had to have been gloved as nicely as it was by Oyama to keep from going to the outfield.
One out. Catches the upper part of the zone.
Notice how far Cam Smith is standing off the plate right now. That speaks to how long he is and how tall he is, able to reach out over the plate pretty easily and not sacrifice any power, but also able to cover the inner part of the zone because he can stand off the plate so far.
1-2 is flown into right field, and Tremble positions himself under it on the track. A couple steps away from the fence. Now 2 retired.
Yeah, Trimble just kept on going. That ball was carrying. Didn't sound so great off the pat. That's in on the hands, and Smith still muscles it. Again, by the body language of Romero, he wasn't happy with that. May have thought that it would have just gotten out by just a little bit. But again, despite Smith giving it a ride, it finds the back of Trimble's glove.
Pitch misses low to York. And it's not for loud hits today for this Harbor Hawks team. They've just been a couple feet short.
Yeah, a couple of feet short. But in addition to just finding infield gloves, you know, scorching it on the infield. And this Orleans defense, yes, they rank 7th in the league, but a lot of that is because they show off their range. They're able to show off their range and be able to get to balls that they might otherwise maybe create an error on.
2-0. Flown foul.
Yeah, and another guy that's come in and really contributed to this Hyannis team. Zach Yorkie homered yesterday against Catuit, maybe an outfield-assisted home run. Just going back to the wall, the right fielder yesterday at Catuit wasn't able to keep it in his glove and survive the wall. It was McCoy. And York was awarded a home run because of it. You don't see that every day.
Romero deals to York. Upstairs, York works a walk to put 2 on with 2 away to bring up Brandon Ike.
Yeah, that's big. You push a runner into scoring position with this Hyannis team that's known for 2-out hitting. For the new guy, Brandon Ike. Coming in, he homered against Orleans in his first game with Hyannis.
Yeah, Ike's been an RBI machine. That's coming into today, has in 6 games, has 6 RBIs. So averaging an RBI a game, this is the spot you want him in here.
Yeah, that's come out of Virginia Commonwealth and put the league on notice.
0-0. Pitch in for strike on Brandon Ike. Trying to take advantage with runners on here. Firebirds leading 4-0.
He's got that right field line open. Hallback playing off the line. There you see it on the right side of your screen. Hallback is so far off the first base bag. If there's a ground ball, yeah, he'll be able to get over to first, but Ike possesses a little bit of speed, so he's going to have to hurry.
1-1. Runner in motion as Mitchell comes in sliding on the throw down. They're going to send him back. Silver Martinez Jr. came out firing from behind home plate. And they're going to ask him to go back to second.
Yeah, it wouldn't be batter's interference because they just would have called him out there and the inning would have ended. So maybe there just wasn't a pitch.
Still some conversation being had between skipper Eric Beatty and home plate Silva Martinez.
Yeah, it was interesting. No pitch, I guess.
I've never
He
seen
hasn't
that.
He hasn't thrown up the count quite yet. We're about to see him throw up the count.
And there was no time called.
And he's just issued a warning.
He's issued a warning to skipper Eric Beatty.
Yeah, I think Eric Beatty is rightfully upset. If he called no pitch, I'm not sure who called time.
Yeah, I think he just wants an explanation more than anything. It seems very unclear on the field as to what the call was, and I think that's what Beatty as well as the bench are getting a little bit vocal about, is they just want to know what the situation is and where the call came from.
He still hasn't put up the count. I believe he just signaled 0-2, but it's blocked off from our view. So they must have called it no pitch.
Comes in. They'll say he went around on the appeal to Warren Nicholson. That will do it for the third. Romero walks off. Firebirds leading 4-0.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about. Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Still some fireworks after the last half inning. Here is Joseph Labella. Crew chief is now going to have a conversation with skipper Eric Beatty.
That was an interesting sequence of plays right there as Eric Beatty. It's unclear if he actually got ejected because he had that warning in the previous inning, and now he's going to depart from the dugout, and that means here he has been ejected from this game, and you understand the frustration because I believe they just never explained it to him. It was unclear, we can't tell what's going on down there, but the umpires are huddling together right now, and Eric Beatty is going to depart McKeon Park here, but here into the 4th inning, we have a very special guest joining us in the Tim Elstrom broadcast booth.
And now fans have started to get into it.
And this is getting ugly here.
As they're going to ask now for game management. They're going to ask for a little bit of assistance with fans here now, as Volker's still getting a little bit of an opportunity to break free.
A gentleman in the front row seems to be exchanging pleasantries with the umpire. And the fan looks like he will follow Eric Beatty out of here, out of McKeon Park.
As they continue here, as they're still asking for game management to please settle in to try and escort individuals out of McKeon Park right now. They're still waiting for game management to settle in here tonight, as this one has officially gotten out of hand tonight between fans, umpires, as well as coaching staffs so far today.
Here we have some of the higher ups in the Harbor Hawks organization huddling together on the sideline.
And we'll take a quick break here as they're still waiting to try and sort out what is going on here. We'll hammer a 30 here, and we'll be right back. You're listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark. Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Welcome you back as actually umpire and crew still not going out into the field. They're still waiting for this to be settled as Kelly Nicholson comes out, an interim skipper with Eric Beatty ejected out of this one already.
It looks
Eric
like
Luxus is still out there right now.
It looks like the umpire and crew does not want to continue this game until this fan is ejected. And he's having conversations with higher-ups in the Harbor Hawks organization right now, as I believe they're kindly asking him to leave. The umpires are still staring in that general direction, just seeing what's going to happen. And this has really gotten ugly. The situation has deteriorated just a little bit. Kelly Nicholson, as you mentioned, out talking to the umpires. Eric Luxus, now the pitching coach, and now we presume is the interim manager. He was the interim manager earlier in the year when Eric Beatty was on leave, but now it appears that the fan is finally getting up and leaving. Zach Volker throwing a couple extra pitches to warm up.
As Joseph Labella, the crew chief tonight at third base, finally gives his okay to let us get ready back up and started here at McKeon Park. We're through 3 innings of play, 4-0. Hyannis Harbor Hawks trailing to Orleans. To take a look at our umpire and crew tonight. First base, Warren Nicholson. Home plate, Silvo Martinez. And third base, Joseph Labella, who was acting as the crew chief here earlier today during everything between the two teams. But now we're back ready for baseball here. Volker back out for another inning of work. It's a breaking ball on Henry Hunter. He goes around to swing and miss, 0-1.
And I apologize. We finally get to bring in our special guest here. We had a whole host of things going around. It's last year's broadcaster for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, Mr. Zach Berman. How you doing?
Well, Mr. Doolittle, glad to catch up with you and this whole crew. And, you know, every time you think the Cape can't throw another wild occurrence at you, you get that. It's great to be back here.
You saw everything from last year, including a whole host of events and occurrences at Cotuit, all over the place, at Wareham. Last year seemed like it was a sitcom. This year has been maybe a little bit more tame, but still same kind of idea.
Look, the job that myself and our incredible crew did last year, it was, I mean, I don't even know where to begin. The time I spent on the Cape last summer, and to be able to say that I was a part of this incredible organization. Nice pitch, Volk.
Strikeout against Henry Hunter to get a big out here to push forward to now go up against Joe Oyama, a guy that really, Zach, is extremely special.
There's nothing really more I can say that will do how special this organization is for me justice, as I could go on and on and on, and I could wax poetic for hours, but I got to thank Austin, who of course is somewhere here, Bria, who I've spent not one but 2 summers working with, both here in Fremont, Nebraska. Of course, Drake Toll, who might be out hunting moose somewhere in Alaska. If you're listening, give a hoot and a holler. And Ella Gibson, Mazdak Darvari, everybody that made my time in Hyannis so special. And, of course, the team. We got to see 13 of last year's Hawks get drafted, and I'm sure you guys, with this team being as good as they have been, next summer you'll get to recognize a ton of names once they fly off the ledger.
Oyama's able to work a walk to get on with one away here in the 4th, and you talk about just how special the Cape Cod Baseball League is due to that sheer fact of this is where the best and brightest stars come to shine. Well, last summer, and I'm sure when you guys came in, you heard his name over and over and over again. We got to see the legend of Riku Nishida develop from a guy that had played at a community college in Portland, Oregon last season into this just live wire of an athlete seemingly overnight. And it wasn't just what he did on the field, but it was the personality of not just him, but the whole bunch together. I can tell you one thing. Before Game 3 against Cotuit last season, the team showed up on the bus screaming the lyrics of Wonderwall as they pulled up to Lowell Park. By Oasis? Yes. Wow, a little bit of some 90s grunge action.
Colorado Avalanche style.
And I remember as we were walking into the ballpark, I texted the group chat. I said they're going to win by 15. 0-2. Gazdar tries to turn. Unable to, but gets the lead runner with Snow going to Gazdar at second base for the second out. But really, enough about me and last year's team. You guys have done such an incredible job. And to walk in here and not only see the booth is amazing. It's remodeled, and you guys, you three have like the best chemistry. I was just in Europe, and I would get up at 4 in the morning to listen to you three get on the booth and play off each other so well.
4 in the morning?
4 in the morning.
Oh, my goodness.
He's a devout Hawks fan right there, Mickey.
I was about to say.
I was talking to Dan Johnson this morning, and I told him you might leave the Cape, but the Cape never leaves you.
Beauty of summer baseball.
Yeah. I was trying to explain to Mickey, because, of course, Mickey and I are both Missouri products.
M-I-Z?
Z-O-U. Haven't had one of those in a while. I was trying to explain to him, I remembered, in the student center at, oh my gosh, what's the name of the restaurant? Mort's. At Mort's. I was trying to tell him, like, just, how special this place is. And I came to the conclusion, you're not going to understand it until you live it.
Have you understood it so far, Mickey?
I've understood it. I understood it a week in. Just the craziness of what the heck happens out here.
2-1 fouled back by Jack Penny.
Nolan Shonowell, now in Double-A.
Hit his first home run in Double-A today.
Ooh.
Nolan Shonowell's grandmother still likes every single tweet I put out.
Oh. And that's one of the advantages of the Cape. Not the advantages, but one of the unforeseen consequences and fallouts of working in the Cape as a part of the media. It's the families.
2-2 runner goes. Fly ball into the center left field gap. Mitchell positions himself under it to make the grab for the third out. Berman, you're going to stay with us for the bottom half?
Oh, gladly. If I can will a comeback, so be it.
4-0. Orleans leading going into the bottom.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
Cape Cod Healthcare is proud to be the official healthcare sponsor of Cape Cod Baseball League. And with 6 convenient urgent care centers across Cape Cod from Falmouth to Orleans, we're ready to treat a wide variety of minor illnesses and injuries so that you can get back to your regularly scheduled lives here on Cape Cod. Open daily with no appointment needed and staffed by board-certified ER providers. View wait times at capecodhealthcare.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, urgent care, minor emergencies, major attention. Harborhawks trying to bring major attention here into this bottom half of the fourth as they trail by 4. Zach Berman, one of last year's broadcasters, joining us now in the booth, alongside with his fellow Missouri Tiger and Mickey Doolittle. I'm Jacob Iron. So happy to have you with us on this Sunday night. As Will Taylor looks at a strike on the outer part of the plate.
So, Berman, you say you woke up at 4 a.m. in Europe to listen to our broadcasts. Are you familiar with the whale calls?
Yes, I was briefed on that earlier today.
Yeah, Will Taylor, Whale Taylor, as Michael Kirsting once said. That's it.
Hey, and it's stuck.
So it all just stemmed from a mispronunciation?
Yes. Yep. Not even a mispronunciation, misspeaking.
The 0-2 misses off the plate, 1-2.
We asked him about it earlier today, and he was like, I didn't know about it until yesterday. And so now he knows, he likes it. He hopes it'll stick.
I hope he likes it.
We'll continue to be doing whale calls all the way deep into August.
See, if I was making whale calls on air, I'd cross off 5 Berman bingos by now. So,
oh, Berman bingos. Remind me what those were again.
I could explain it. That's a better question for Austin.
Okay. All right. Just random things that you do?
Random things I would say or do, and there was never any board. It was just a moment that would be followed with, oh, that's a Berman bingo.
What would be our Berman bingos?
Payoff pitch, struck out looking. Will Taylor set down to set back to the dugout. Now Bennett Thompson.
You or me saying that one over and over again? What else?
Thompson out of the University of Oregon flew out earlier.
He's been seeing the ball really well.
A walk-off hit. He greeted my presence with a walk-off hit on Friday.
Yeah, the catcher out of Oregon. Oregon Duck.
Swings at the upstairs fastball.
What do you think?
1-1.
Big 10?
Big 12.
Oregon? Big 12?
Wherever
Oregon.
they're going to go, Washington's going to follow. I think those two are going to go hand in hand.
1-1. Grounded over to Penny at shortstop and fires in time to Hallbach for the second out.
The whole conference realignment fiasco has been so entertaining. But I don't think the Big Ten's going to expand further unless they get a shot at Notre Dame. But as long as Notre Dame, and you know this as Fighting Irish, as long as that TV deal with NBC's in place, I can't see them leaving the clutches of independence.
Correct. Especially with the move of Pete Bavacqua now coming in to be our next athletic director, the former chair of NBC Sports. Lipsy flies out to Tremble in right field. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Romero as we push on to the fifth. Harborhawks trailing 4-0 to the Firebirds.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark. Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of...
We'll welcome you back to McKeon Park. And now, Matt Hallback settles into the box. Walker back out for another inning of work. Hallback takes a pitch high, 1-0.
Yeah, he's let up 4 runs, but only 5 hits. So despite letting up those 4 runs, it's been on very soft contact. Mickey talking about the exit velos on all the balls. It's been 60 miles an hour, low 80s, high 70s. So the quality of contact is not there from Orleans. It's just found grass.
Now the 2-0. Upstairs and away, 3-0.
Yeah, he did a great job in the last 2 innings getting through this lineup. Starts him out with a walk here.
Hallback works a walk for Volker's 5th of the night. Eric Luxus now out.
And this is confusing for us because, of course, Eric Beatty was ejected from this game. So Luxus now serving as the manager, but also the pitching coach. So he's going to make the mound visits. Presumably he's going to make the mound visits either way, but looks like we're going to have a pitching change.
We will
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you on a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
We'll welcome you back here to McKeon Park. New pitcher settles into the game for the Harbor Hawks and Carter Lovaz, the sophomore out of William and Mary, and the Tribe. Comes in with a 3.68 ERA with a 1.09 whip.
Yeah, he's used in a lot of bulk roles. You see him take up a lot of those middle innings in lower leverage situations just to eat some innings, and he's been really, really good in long relief. Exactly the guy you want in this situation. Going 3 innings in relief at YD. The last time we saw them on July 19th. 3 innings, just 1 hit, as well as 4 strikeouts, 2 1/3 in relief as well against Bourne with 5 strikeouts and just a hit. So Lovaz is the guy you want here just to kind of keep things going and just to hold Orleans at 4 in an effort for the offense to come back.
We talk about the importance of this 5th inning right now between the two teams of trying to get themselves in equal footing after 5 innings of play. Lovaz will face off against Eddie Micheletti, designated hitter out of Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and getting another scoreless inning. Volker did a great job in the 3rd and the 4th at limiting everything. He only allowed 1 base runner through those 2 innings, so now it's Lovaz's turn to try and turn it over and keep this lead at 4.
Micheletti looks at a pitch away. 1-0. Tapper over to Snow. He'll go to first. He'll get the out. Hallback advancing on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, it was hit way too softly for Snow to even have a thought at turning 2. But there you saw another nice shot from our center field camera, and our cameraman Mike Maynard coming charging in on it, making an off-balance play to throw him out.
Have to be confident there, and that's a nice play out in the field despite the runner coming back on second. Again, good pitching from Lovaz, just weak contact has been the name of the game, but luckily for Orleans, it's worked in their favor.
Pitch misses upstairs and away to Eddie King.
Yeah, King is a guy that in June only hit 129, and then into July, 313. Really turned his season around. And all 3 of his home runs and 12 of his RBIs have come in this month.
1-0 on the inner part of the plate. Clips the zone, 1-1.
And that kind of follows the trend of this Orleans team. They've been on an upward trajectory, climbing in the standings, and now into second place within striking distance, only a game and a half back of first place and the YD Red Sox.
1-1. Launched to center field. Mitchell back to the track, and watch it drop in front of him. Holding at third will be Hallback. They didn't know where the ball was. Getting a double will be Eddie King Jr., able to eke it out. Hard hit ball. Mitchell lost for a little bit. Drops a couple feet in front of him.
Yeah, able to get extended on an off-speed pitch, center cut, 99 miles an hour off the bat, and it just kept drifting on Mitchell, who never really turned around into a full sprint. But luckily for him, it wasn't. Hallback didn't know if that was going to be caught or dropped, so he had to hold up at second and only got 90 feet out of it.
And that's thanks to the play that Nick Mitchell made there. It's not one that'll go down in the book, but he just had his head up. He made it look like in a bit of a deke that he was tracking it, and maybe he didn't see it for the entire time. But plays like that, those kinds of dekes, is what keeps a runner at third as opposed to scoring.
Pitch misses off the plate. That's Brandon Stallman. Stallman has an opportunity. Try and bring in a couple more. Infield will come into play, the grass. Lovaz readies and fires the 3-0.
Yeah, he's got such great run on his fastball, but there you see the infield coming in with toes on the grass. Runners at second and third. Hyannis can't afford to allow another run to come across. They can, but they would very, very much prefer not to.
3-1. Fouled over the netting and into the bushes here at McKeon Park. St. John Paul II High School. Just a matter of a walk away from downtown Hyannis.
That's what really makes McKeon Park great. Its location. Close to everything.
Payoff pitch. Breaking ball at 81 off the plate. And now bases loaded to bring up Colin Tuft.
Yeah, tough pitch there. Just ran out of the zone. Little too much run. It just tailed off a little too much. And now the bases are loaded. But luckily for Hyannis, that sets up a force at any base and a potential double play opportunity. That was allowed. That was allowable with the open base at first.
Now, you have to be confident in where you're going. If you're Hyannis here, you have a few options, and you have to know, depending on the quality of contact, where you want to go. If it's weaker and maybe to the corners, you try not to focus on the first base or any other run as opposed to the one coming home if that's where your momentum is taking you. On the other hand, if it's a hard hit ball, could try and turn two. So just have to know what you're doing. Don't doubt yourself.
0-1. Tapped into the netting. Take a look with Gazdar playing close to the second base bag to hold King on. Also be ready with the righty Tuft in the box to potentially try and turn two to get out of this without a run to come across. The 0-2. Nubler up over to Snow. Underhand to Gazdar. Throw goes high. King will come across to score. It's now a 6-0 ball game in favor of the Firebirds.
Yeah, double play opportunity. Snow didn't really have the shot at first, so probably should have eaten that one. Excuse me, that was Gazdar who just airmailed the ball. Luckily for Hyannis, it only hits the railing of the dugout, so the runner stays at first with 2 outs.
2 away, tough to board. Brings up the 9-hole hitter, Henry Hunter. Pitch in for strike. Hunter came around to score in the second inning off of a walk and struck out looking back in the fourth.
And again, these are results that Hyannis and Lovaz are okay with because, not results, but results of contact, because they've been hit pretty softly. They've just been able to find spots where the defense can't cover it.
0-2. Lovaz ahead against Henry Hunter. It's a swing and a miss from Hunter. Lovaz comes in, allows 2 to plate. Firebirds leading 6-0 here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
The lights at McKeon Park stay bright all season long thanks to the Knack Cape Cod. The Knack offers 2 locations in Hyannis and Orleans, both offering delicious burgers, tacos, sandwiches, and more. Visit theknackcapecod.com to order online today. The Knack Cape Cod is proud to be the Light Up the Park sponsor of the Harbor Hawks all season long. Let's take a look at how these two teams stack up statistically. The yellow meaning they are the league leaders. Right now, Harbor Hawks leading the CCBL with a .277 batting average. And big one today, triples between these two teams, first and second in that respective category.
Yeah, you see those 10 triples for the Firebirds, 6 of those 10, the majority of those triples coming off the bat of Joe Oyama. It's really impressive. We've talked about the dimensions of Red Wilson Field before. There aren't as many cavernous fields. Some are, as Orleans' field definitely is, down into that right field gap, and left center goes out to about 440 at its deepest. So if Oyama's able to find those gaps, which he has been accounting for the majority of those triples for Orleans.
In addition to that, you saw the ERA numbers. Hyannis ranks 3rd, and Orleans ranks 2nd.
Romero backing up those numbers here today. He comes back out for his 5th inning of work. 0-1 misses away, 1-1.
As we know, pitching wins championships.
1-1, Gazdar, grounder off the hop. In time to Penny, to fire to Hallback. It's a 6-3 put out. Once again, Romero's night continues. It's been weak ground balls, and Hyannis haven't been able to add on and really do multiple things. We talk about it as their offense is a Luke Combs when it rains, it pours. They haven't had to get 2 hits back-to-back and get runners on back-to-back.
No, and he's only allowed 3 hits, so he's inducing soft contact, but when he does allow that hard contact, it's finding the gloves of infielders and being tracked down by outfielders.
And sometimes that's baseball. There's not really much of a way to explain that the hard balls by Hyannis are finding the back of the leather and the soft balls hit by Orleans are finding their way down. It just could be one of those days for Hyannis. They've been on a nice long tear. A lot of things have gone their way. Some of these games, like this one here tonight so far, some of them are bound to go against you.
The 0-2 to Snow is lined directly to the perfectly positioned Oyama, who fields and fires for the 4-3 put out.
Yeah, 99 off the bat. There's what exactly? Exhibit A for what we were just talking about.
Yeah, Baseball Ops is a big proponent, everybody in there, of average on balls in play. A lot of these are going to be going in Hyannis' favor based on all the hits, their exit velocities, where they're at, like how far up the middle that one was as well.
Pop up by Mitchell, out of play and foul.
And if you have a higher average on balls in play, and you've only got 3 hits on the day, that means you're just getting unlucky.
0-1. Mitchell fouls it up over to the grandstands at McKeon Park. Mitchell behind in the count, 0-2. Mayer looking to stay dominant. The 0-2. Pitch misses high above the Harbor Hawks lettering on their home pinstripes.
Back to the pinstripes tonight after wearing the orange yesterday. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the last couple of home games they've worn the orange.
1-2 misses down in the dirt, 2-2.
And orange looks really, really good. A new alternate uniform that they debuted a couple of weeks ago, right before this win streak.
Yeah, you could credit the win streak to that, kind of putting those on, feeling themselves in a new form of identity. It gets you feeling nice and swag dripped out on the field. And when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you play good. So it's been those orange jerseys that have been to thank so far for their win streak and their really hot streak that's propelled them all the way up to a clean, solid second place behind Katuitt.
Breaking ball just misses the zone. Payoff pitch now come. As Mitchell fouls off another one. Now, the 8th pitch to come.
Yeah, Mitchell's had some good at-bats all game. Hasn't broken through for a hit. A guy that looks like he could any day.
Mitchell pulls that one down the line to Hallback. Steps on first base himself. And now we send it down to our fabulous sideline reporter, Bria Lasek.
Thanks, Jacob. Last night against Katuitt, Ethan Lanthier, who's transferring to Kansas, was lights out. He went 2 2/3 innings, giving up no runs and no hits. And I talked to pitching coach Ray Korn about it. What made Lanthier so effective last night compared to other appearances? Because he had been struggling a little bit after going to some of his visits, deciding where he was going to transfer. And Ray Korn just said it had to do with his eyes. He said that Ethan Lanthier was over-rotating, and so he would bring his shoulder across his body, and with his shoulder, his eyes would also follow, and then he wasn't looking at the plate, so he couldn't see where he was throwing. It sounds simple, but it makes a huge difference. Coach Ray Korn, when talking to Ethan about it, asked him, would you drive a car and look a little bit to the side and expect to go in a straight line? And Ethan said, of course not, coach. He said, then why are you trying to pitch that way? Look at where you want the ball to go, and you'll see success. And we saw it against Katuitt last night. He made that adjustment, and no hits, no runs. Ethan Lanthier is back to his old self.
Hey, Bria, it's like dancing. For pitching, it's in the eyes, but for dancing, it's all in the hips.
I don't know. It's kind of all in the shoulders when you dance.
I don't know. I'm a big Shakira hips don't lie guy, so you got to make sure the hips are in.
Well, it's all about the eyes, according to Coach Ray Korn, and he knows a lot. He's been working in the business for about 50 years, so I'm going to go with him.
Maybe I'll go with his dance moves over there, too. Maybe it's in the eyes, too. Eye contact.
Yeah, check back to the chicken dance.
Oh, yeah. Eye contact. All right.
I'll make sure to do that.
Thanks, Bria, as always.
Yeah,
so we
thanks, guys.
pushed on here at McKeon Park. Always love those reports and in-depth analysis. A simple fix, just moving the eyes, are able to. You talk about Lanthier yesterday.
And we talked about small adjustments in Zach Earhart, making the adjustment in his stance, moving his hands back behind his ears more, making his load a little bit shorter. And sometimes in baseball, it's those tiny little adjustments, maybe moving your front foot forward just a little bit, maybe bringing your hips into the equation, maybe bringing your shoulders to the equation just a little bit more. That can be the difference between a guy getting to single A and a guy getting all the way to the majors.
Yeah, I love being so close to this team that the coaches can tell us about this with such ease. Everybody on the coaching staff, and in this instance, Coach Ray Korn being so accommodating to us all the time when we ask all of our questions. A great report there from Bria. I love hearing stuff like that.
Oyama flies it to right center field. Mitchell calls off Taylor, and that gives us a perfect opportunity to play some trivia here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Oh,
Which
good one.
MLB player traded at the deadline was a playoffs MVP? David Robertson.
This deadline or any deadline?
This deadline. Kiki Hernandez.
These are all guys who have been traded this deadline, too. I wasn't sure, so they're making it tough. This is a real good one. I'm going to go with D.
Oh, every time I'm about to say one, you guys take it from me.
Stick with me.
I'm going D as well.
Pitch in for strike on Fenwick Tremble.
What are you
1-1 count. I was not paying enough attention. We had a pitch come across. Give me A. I'm just going with my gut. 1-1. Off.
Who it was? It was Robertson, Kike, Joe Kelly, and who was the last choice that I'm not remembering? And Jordan Montgomery was the other one.
Yeah. No one picked A yet, right?
No.
Nope.
Perfect.
Me and Mickey are going with D.
2-1. It's fouled away.
And I feel like I saw this somewhere.
Yeah?
It comes from a place of vaguely remembering it. I very much have a high chance of being wrong.
I have no idea. That was a blind guess from me.
2-2. Tapper over to Snow. Up with it and sends it across the diamond in time to get the second out here.
Yeah, nice
at the
play.
top of the 6.
Nice play by Snow. Showing off that arm, firing it across the infield. Now there's 2 outs in the inning.
Jack Penny now comes into the box. We'll get you the answer right after this pitch. Pitch misses high. 1-0 on Jack Penny. Let's see what that answer is.
Show me Joe Kelly.
Show it.
Hey,
it was
really?
A. David Robertson.
Wow.
Wow.
Jacob Irons just was blindfolded and threw a dart at a map and then came up with the right answer. I got to respect it. You went with your gut.
Just go with the gut.
Was Joe Kelly in the league?
He didn't know who A was.
Yeah, I went with that because he was the only guy that I was pretty sure was in the league. I wasn't sure if Robertson was or not. So Montgomery was in there too. Producer Josh Schreiber was in this league, was in the Cape League. Okay.
3-0 to Penny. Touches the outer part of the plate for strike. 3-1. Hey, just because sometimes you need luck to be good too.
Oh, sometimes to be lucky, better to be lucky than good.
3-1 on the upper part of the zone. 3-2. Great battle back pitch here from Lovaz.
Here's a question for you guys.
Okay.
What team did Joe Kelly pitch for on Cape?
Oh,
Payoff pitch. It's a strikeout looking against Jack Penny.
Time to think about it.
Lovaz walks off. Firebirds leading 6-0. We'll get the answer on the other side there, Mick, right here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why'd he sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Go to the bottom of the 6 here. It's Romero back out for another inning of work. Now going to push on to his 6th inning. Why wouldn't you? Romero's been so solid. These Harbor Hawks haven't been able to really break through, only have 3 hits so far today.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Set down 7 in a row right now. He's been on a hot streak, absolute paint on each corner.
But he's going to have to go up against Cam Smith, who was on a heater a couple days ago, was on a 20-game hitting streak, and in that streak, batted .437. Sadly, last night went 0 for 4 at Katuitt. That streak ends the longest so far this season on Cape Cod.
That jump in OPS is so impressive, from the upper 800s all the way to above 1,000.
He's a very special player, and we know that. And he's been making a case for himself if we've tried to make it for the league MVP. He swings and misses. He's behind in the count 0-2.
Yeah, he's just shown how much of a complete hitter he is, using contact, using power, just going to left field, going to right field. Just every single bit of hitting that you look for in a major league hitter has been exhibited by Cam Smith this whole season, but especially over those 20 games.
Yeah, he's a guy, if he can have a really good year at Florida State this year, he could find himself in the top 15, top 10 of next year's Major League draft. He has all of the tools that Major League scouts look for in a player. He's really, really good at third base, but also hits for a ton of power, is disciplined at the plate. A lot of
So strike three looking. Cam Smith takes the pitch on the outer side part of the plate to get the first down.
A lot of scouts will tell you that you can develop power into your career. If you have the intangible of being able to control the zone, know when a pitch is outside, know when a pitch is an inch below the plate like Cam Smith does, and now what the guy at the plate, Zach York, does, that's so hard to teach. A lot of guys can't develop that as well as they can with power, as easy as they can with power.
Oh, it's all natural when you're talking in terms of zone control. As you see there, York take a strike, but that's another disciplined take. He knows exactly what pitch is his, and to be able to recognize it when he sees it and know immediately when it's not his pitch is just something that you're correct, Mick, is just unteachable.
2-1, and look at a guy, we get to watch BP every day. Talking to him, he takes batting practice so seriously, understanding how important it is for the results that night. He goes around to swing and miss on the foul tip, 2-2. You saw it today against B.J. Johnson, who was throwing BP. Them having a great time out there because trying to emulate some of those bigger pitches, although they're a little less in speed. 2-2, he holds on it, now 3-2, and then throwing in the curveball, the slider from B.J. Johnson, and having that opportunity with him is huge.
And a lot of people don't realize that BP isn't just fastball, 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 as that is a nice at-bat from York. Draws the walk.
That works. Fabulous walk, and his discipline, like we talked about, Michael touched upon, is knowing the zone and knowing the zone you want to hit to.
In BP, again, it isn't just fastball, fastball, fastball. It isn't just guys trying to launch balls over the fence. It's a lot of breaking stuff and off speed and recognizing what you need to do with a certain pitch. If there's a fastball away, get it to the opposite field. If there's something out over the plate, that's when you can really try and get extended on it and crush it. So now here's Ike.
Ike fouls away the first pitch he sees in this third at bat versus Romero. 0-1. Tapped foul. 0-2.
But at the same time with York, the fact that he takes it so seriously but has so much fun with Coach B.J. Johnson, they've developed a really good relationship since he's gotten up here. It speaks to how much of a professional guy York is to be able to have so much fun while using it so seriously, to be able to try and take a certain pitch a certain way, just how to deal with it in the box overall against different kinds of pitches.
0-2 in the dirt, 1-2. And York's having some fun with Johnson today as well. Bench coaches, they were jawing at each other a little bit, and all of a sudden York sent one over the old scoreboard. It's the 1-2 breaking ball at 79 miles an hour gets Ike swinging and missing. 2 retired here in the bottom half of the 6, and he said, "What?" and looking right at him as he took that one right over the fence. And you talk about it, and then on the next round, you look at York and Johnson and got him to swing and miss a couple times as well.
And there were a few whistles from the players around the turtle as well. They were interested in that little battle between the two of them.
First pitch to Will Taylor, clips the upper part of the zone, 0-1.
Here they got an overshift on Taylor, the second baseman Oyama behind the second base bag, a little bit over to the left of the second base bag, towards that shortstop position.
0-1, upstairs, 1-1.
Taylor, a slightly pull-heavy guy. He can use it, serve it to the opposite field, but his tendency is to pull.
Fouls it away, 1-2. Ball back, the first baseman will come off the line and not protect against York at first. One, two. Fouls off of Taylor himself in the box. He's shaken up a little bit. Now for Romero. It's been a great outing. Now be his 86th pitch here. Bottom of the 6th, but Taylor's still gingerly walking. Brown has caught him inside on batter's shield as he goes over to talk to interim skipper Eric Luxus to bring out athletic trainer Tyler Spicer as well into the mix and into the conversation.
Yeah, fouling those off your foot never feels good. He looks like he's okay. Tyler looks like he's just patting him on the back a couple of times, just walking it off a little bit. He's a tough guy. Played some football at Clemson. In a Power 5 conference, that's really impressive being a multi-sport athlete, especially in a conference like the ACC.
Yeah, has elected that he will focus on baseball for his remaining 2 years of eligibility. As Taylor shakes them away.
Have they come through Notre Dame?
Have they come through Notre Dame? Yes. And Notre Dame has gotten the best of them.
Oh.
Yes.
That was during the COVID season,
COVID
right?
and this year as
this
well.
This year too?
This year able to handle business as well as I also got told we are playing Clemson this year as well. Football schedule. I will be traveling to Death Valley as well for student radio to make that call, which is really exciting. The 1-2, Taylor holds on it.
Taylor said that he was really excited to watch the football team play, just kind of sit back and take it in as a spectator, as a fan.
I have to imagine it's a vastly different day, and then you get to go out and enjoy your Saturday a little bit. It doesn't feel like work as much.
And he said that a couple of his friends are reporting to camp in like 2 or 3 days. It's like, wow, would you rather be there doing camp or out here in the summer?
2-2 gets away from Hunter. York advances over to second base. Now a runner in scoring position for Will Taylor. Talk about fall camp's already up and going for college football. Isn't it crazy that we're starting to talk about college football?
I can't wait.
August is tomorrow, guys. Oh, no, 2 days. 2 days. August is in 2 days.
I was going to say today's the 30th.
Yep.
Payoff pitch to come to Romero, to Taylor. 91-mile-an-hour fastball off the plate. Taylor works the walk.
Have you been down to Death Valley before, guys?
I have not.
I went this past year. I got a cousin going to school at Clemson. Shout out Matthew if he's listening. And we were able to. It was one of the less populated games of the year. I believe it was against Louisville. Still basically completely sold out.
Yeah.
The atmosphere down there is just it's something different.
Thompson gets under it, pops it up over to Hallback, directly on the base, makes the grab of the pop-up. Harbor Hawks get 2 on via the walk, but they leave them both on, and we now send it to Bria Losick.
Thank you so much, Jacob. Well, tonight is Intern Appreciation Day at McKeon Park, and all of the Harbor Hawks interns that make this whole organization go round were honored before the game. And for the Cape Cod Baseball League, being an intern is as much of a privilege as it is to be a player. Everyone wants to be interning up here and trying to make it to the next level just as much as the players do. And you never know where interning for the Cape Cod Baseball League or a specific team will take you. And for some, it's, major league teams or working at, other professional sports environments. But for Nick Johnson, he stayed right here on Cape, and that's exactly where he wanted to be. Nick Johnson, the GM of the Harbor Hawks now for 2 years, was a broadcast intern back in 2011 through 2013 and has stayed in Hyannis ever since. Afterwards, he even worked on a documentary about the Cape Cod Baseball League, and now he's taken over general manager duties, and he doesn't stop, ever. He said that his whole family moved up here and knew that they had to commit to just completely being Hyannis Harbor Hawks all of the time. He said that during the day he works as general manager and dad, and then as soon as the kids go to bed, he's at the kitchen table finding players and talking to his baseball operations interns, working with them until 4 a.m. almost every morning. He said that the work definitely pays off. He did that yesterday before the Katuitt game, and he said also last year during the playoffs he barely got any sleep because this is exactly what he wants to be doing, and he's been doing it ever since he was about our age. So can't wait to see where all of our careers takes us. Maybe one of us will be back here in Hyannis with Nick as well.
Who knows, Bria? You'll never know until it happens. Thank you so much. Yeah, you never know. As William Armistead settles into the bump to try and continue the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in a really strong positioning to find themselves right now. Just give themselves a shot in the later parts of this game to be able to respond for those 6 runs.
Yeah, continuing to hold Orleans scoreless here through these middle innings and into the late innings. Armistead comes in with a 6.42 ERA, a 1-0 record in 7 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts to 5 walks. Definitely a guy that likes to work the edges of the plate a little bit more. 6'2" in frame. He's going to use all of that 6'2" frame to get everything that he has behind all of his pitches.
He'll square off against Matt Hallback, Eddie Micheletti, and Eddie King Jr. And then Hallback looks at a strike from William Armstead.
Yeah, line now closes on Carter Lovaz through 2 innings. Just a run on 1 hit. He walked 2 and struck out 2, but did allow for a few more to cross to go on to Volker's ticker. But at the end of his day, he is only credited with 1 run.
0-2, fouled back for Hallback to keep his night and at bat alive right now. And Armistead doing a good job. Just trying face the minimum to the best of his ability. Armistead deals the 0-2. Pulled foul. We'll do it again. Pitch upstairs. 85-mile-an-hour fastball. Unable to have Hallback come around and swing. The 1-2 on the 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball gets Hallback swinging and missing for Armistead's first out of his outing tonight.
Yeah, that's nasty on the off speed right there. Pulls the string, and that was a really nice sequence from Armistead there to set down Hallback swinging.
Now Eddie Micheletti steps into the box. He looks at a pitch off the plate. Micheletti looks at a strike. 0 for 2 today with a walk. Back in the first, got left stranded at second. 0-1, ball that skips in front of the plate. 1-1.
Part of Intern Appreciation Night. We got some tacos.
And some nice hard shell tacos. 2-1. Able to find the gap in left center field. Micheletti rounding first. It's going to be close to second on the rainbow throw from Lipsy. He comes in sliding. It's a big double from Eddie Micheletti. Power to the gaps gets him to second.
Yeah, 97 off the bat. Actually, kind of surprised that that was 97 off the bat. Kind of looked like a little more of a looping fly ball, but it was scorched pretty well. I'll give credit to Lipsy that came over using that speed to cut it off before it got all the way to the wall. And with Micheletti's speed, he might have been able to take third.
Eddie King Jr. foul off the first pitch he sees. Had a double and come around to score back in the fifth.
Infield shifted to the left.
1 from Armistead, breaks too much off the plate.
So there you see John Gazdar playing directly behind that second base bag, playing him to shoot one back up the middle, also holding Micheletti on second.
1-1, a high fastball upstairs. Gets King to go around and miss.
King doubled back in the 5th, later came around to score.
To delivery. Off the plate, now 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball at 78. Off the plate. Loads the count full. King is able to get it through the gap into right field. Micheletti will hold at third. It's a well-placed contact hit from Eddie King Jr. to work out of the shift.
Yeah, fastball in the outer third of the plate. 99 miles an hour off the bat, beat the shift the other way. We mentioned Gazdar playing behind the second base bag here. You can see on the replay, number 14 behind second base. So only one fielder on the right side of the infield able to shoot it past Ike. And a good hold from second because there was no way Micheletti was going to be able to score. Taylor has a really good arm out in right field.
Yeah, the Orleans third base coach was about 3/4 down the third base line in preparation to decide whether or not he was going to go.
Well, that's fundamentally sound. They tell those base coaches to try and get down the line a little bit, get yourself a better view of the play. There's a nice play by our ball boy.
Stallman behind in the count 0-2 with runners on the corner.
But also what that does is, as that runner is rounding third, it allows you to stay within.
King goes, throw is not in time. And as say, they were able to get King's hand into the base. Throw was there, was the flag applied. We'll take a look at the replay.
Throw there in time, and yeah, he's out. No,
oh, no, he's
tag.
not. He swam around the tag. Wow.
That's a great
slide.
1-2 misses.
It's hard to tell from that angle. It looked like he had the tag on, but not quite.
2-2 pitch here with 2 in scoring position. Stallman fouls it back into the netting. Great sequence by our production team, headlined by Josh Schreiber tonight. The producer role, Nico Sharp in the director's chair, and production assistant Mike Maynard doing it all for us tonight on this final Sunday of the regular season on the Cape.
Already.
2-2 fouled back into Thompson. He's took a large majority of it, is trying to walk it off. He gets back into a squat.
Yeah, those don't feel good. Those foul tips coming back so fast. Even a 79 mile an hour off speed pitch is not going to feel good, but he's already back down into the squat and ready to go again.
Now Silvo Martinez, giving him the courtesy of brushing off the plate, give him a couple extra minutes, has brought him out the ball as well to Armistead. Two. Pitch misses off the plate. Payoff pitch to come from Armistead. Breaking ball that Stallman does a great job to reach out for to keep his at-bat alive. One of those borderline pitches that started to come back into the zone. Payoff pitch, misses high and upstairs. Bases now juiced for Colin Tuft.
Yeah, Tuft has the opportunity to really put this game out of reach here. If he can put one into the gap, could score 2, maybe even 3, and really put the nail in the coffin here in the top of the 7th.
Tufty guy that's come up, had that bloop single back in the 2nd. No hits since then.
Tuft looks at a strike, the inner part of the plate. Bases loaded with 1 away. Double play is in effect here if Hyannis could turn. Corner's playing a tad in. 0-1, flown into right field, out of the reach of the diving Taylor. Micheletti will come in to score. They'll wave in King Jr. He'll score as well. They'll wave in another one in Stallman. He comes in. It's a bases clearing triple for Colin Tuft as the Firebirds open this one wide open. They now lead 9-0 here in the top of the 7th.
He kind of got jammed on that. That is incredible that it resulted in 3 runs as Taylor had to cover a lot of ground to come over and try and make that play. Only 82 miles an hour off the bat. And just like that, Orleans up big, 9-0 now.
And that's now 9 hits on 9 runs. That is taking the most of every bat-on-ball contact they've had. Hunter fouls it back into the netting.
Orleans doesn't waste opportunities. This has been their MO all year long. This is why they're back into the conversation for first in the East.
We talked about it earlier today. Orleans controls their own destiny as the 0-1. Upstairs, they'll go to the appeal. Joseph Labella, the third base umpire, says he did go around. 0-2. If Orleans is able to win today, win tomorrow against Harwich, they could lock themselves in a firm second place. It's a swing and a miss on the foul tip. Armistead is able to get Hunter swinging and missing. 2 retired to bring up Joe Oyama. And then ultimately, they then play YD on Tuesday.
That could be seismic.
That could be the game for first place in the East Division. Whether Eldridge Park will run the East all the way up until the championship. Oyama out in front, the 81-mile-an-hour pitch. He swings and misses.
Last day of the season, of course, next Wednesday. So whoever wins that game will definitely have the upper hand. If it's similar to where it is right now, it's a 1.5 separation, YD up at the moment.
0-1, healthy hack from Joe Oyama.
And should Orleans hold on to this, it seems like a handed one right now, that this is going to give them confidence. Coming in against a team that has been as hot as Hyannis, catching them on a day where they've just suffered a tough defeat afterwards. Now, coming to McKeon on the road, scoring 9 runs, regardless of how many Hyannis finishes up with, as long as they keep this lead and hold on for the win, this is going to be a real confidence-inducing win.
1-2, chopped foul. Then on the other side for Hyannis, they got to win a couple more games. They feel pretty firm at how it was coming into today. With 6 points back was Falmouth.
Equivalent of 3 games.
Equivalent of 3 games. So Hyannis feels pretty confident that they will be able to get the 2 seed if possible. It's a fly ball into left center field. Lipsy calls off Mitchell to make the final grab of the top of the 7th to get final out. However, Firebirds get 3 more. They lead 9-0. It's time to stretch here at McKeon Park. Stretch with us on the other side.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark. Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Welcome back to McKeon Park. It's stretch time here. That means it is time to look around the league here, as one game's already in the books. YD taking down Brewster 9-6. Then in the top of the ninth, Chatham leading Harwich 11-0. That's a big one for this Orleans Firebirds team that could maybe even lock up second place tonight with a Harwich loss. They have their head tomorrow, like we touched upon earlier. Falmouth leading Bourne 7-2 right now. Our game here, and Cotuit playing close to Wareham in the bottom of the sixth, 3-2.
Yeah, that goes to show any given day the best team in the league can maybe get tested by the worst team in the league, as of course Cotuit only up one on Wareham there. But Bourne and Falmouth, the fall of Bourne this year has been so fascinating. They've kind of dropped off towards the second half of the year, now down into fourth place. They're going to get a playoff spot. They've already locked one up, but Falmouth clearly now commanding lead above Bourne, about to go, doing some math, 5 points up, 2.5 games up on Bourne. So that means only one more win or one more Bourne loss will spell the end of Bourne's hopes trying to get into third place.
Lipsy takes a pitch upstairs.
We'd like to welcome back into the booth Zach Berman.
You know, I'm sad that I didn't get Narco as I walked out for a bullpen duty here in the bottom of the eighth.
Bullpen duty.
Could have had my little Edwin Diaz moment. Apparently not.
We've gone past position players pitching.
1-0, grounded and booted by Penny. Lipsy will reach on the east six. Also got to welcome in a new pitcher into the game in Matthew Watson from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, the Islanders. Watson out of Bentonville, Arkansas, making his 5th appearance of the summer. Comes in with a 0.0 ERA this year.
Yeah, and that also closes the line on Romero, who goes 6 innings, gives up 3 hits, and those were 6 shutout innings, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. He was magnificent tonight.
John Gazdar comes in the box with a runner on. He looks at a pitch upstairs, 1-0.
You know, Mickey, it's interesting the point you bring up about Bourne, because last year there were several points where we weren't sure if the Braves were going to make the, oh boy.
1-0, flown to center field. King calls off the trailing Tremble to get the first out of the bottom of the 7th.
But just to finish my point, Scotty Landers has built a culture at Bourne where, as we saw last year, you can't really count them out until they're 6 feet under. So that team's going to keep fighting with all they have left. And there's a culture in Bourne where they hang on, they slip in, and then they go on runs.
Perhaps a trap matchup for Cotuit in the first round.
Could be.
Yeah. Cotuit hasn't locked up the 1 seed, but tonight, can't even remember. Are they winning?
They're winning 3-2 over the Gatemen.
That's right. I remember now. If they win tonight and Hyannis loses, then they will have locked up that number 1 seed, getting above Hyannis.
So what does Hyannis need to do mathematically to lock up the 2? You have 2 games left in the regular season after tonight.
Assuming
1-0, chopped over to Oyama, underhands to Penny, who goes to the spin, can't beat out the streaking Snow down the line. Two retired, though. Snow will reach on the fielder's choice.
Assuming this score holds, and Falmouth, who is up 7-2 right now, that holds as well. Hyannis now only 2 games ahead with 3 games left. So it would ultimately take, what's the tiebreaker? Hyannis must have the tiebreaker over Falmouth because they've beaten them so much this year. There is one more head-to-head, though. That's tomorrow.
At Gov Fuller Field.
But I believe Hyannis has won 4 of the 5 matchups so far.
So if the Hawks take care of business in
tomorrow,
some capacity tomorrow, that would set the stage, I believe, for the first home field advantage that this team has had in a long time. As, of course, last year, Katuitt held home field, and then so did Bourne.
And they squeaked it out at the very end, didn't they?
Well, that was a very weird series against Katuitt because neither.
I mean, in the regular season, they squeaked above Hyannis, yeah.
Yeah, they squeaked it out at the end, but that was such a strange series because those teams played each other, Katuitt and Hyannis, very closely throughout the year. There were 2 ties, and yet all 3 of the games in that series were blowouts.
When you play them close, you play them close.
Yeah.
Until the playoffs, when all 3 of those games were over by the 5th, 6th inning.
0-2 to Mitchell, misses low.
Nolan Shonowell was really good in that series, right?
Shonowell.
Everybody offensively.
Yeah,
but
we'd been hearing all season about, this kid's got ridiculous power. And for the most part, we didn't really see it. And then in the playoffs, Shonowell just went on like the best heater we saw any Hawk go on all season.
1-2 to Mitchell. That clips his shield on his ankle.
And here we're going to tell you something about the Hawks' MO this year. They've been hit by a pitch more than anybody in the league, and it's not even close. They entered today with a 15 hit-by-pitch lead on Brewster. They now have 58.
Yeah.
So the whole team's developed Anthony Rizzo syndrome.
Yes,
is what you're saying.
That's exactly what it is.
Speaking of Nolan Shonowell, he had a 3-run triple after his home run today.
Oh, good for him.
Casual 5 RBIs for Shonowell.
All the way up to Double-A already.
Smith rips one over to Penny, underhanding to Oyama at second base to go the short way and get the sure out. We're through 7. Firebirds leading 9-0.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Armstead back out for his second inning of work. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Harbor Hawks. They'll be at Falmouth tomorrow, have their final home game of the regular season against Wareham on the 1st. Then we'll travel to Doran Park on Wednesday, have Thursday off, and then on Friday the 4th, playoff start, and should be a lot of excitement.
Yeah, and that Falmouth game tomorrow becoming more and more realistic that is a playoff preview, a first-round preview, because Wareham pulling away from Bourne today, Hyannis losing ground on Katuitt today. That looks like it's going to be the 2-3, and it looks like right now, in all likelihood, Hyannis is going to have home field advantage.
But yeah, now with Hyannis losing here and Falmouth winning elsewhere, that means tomorrow could be huge, because if Falmouth were to win that game, that could set up for a grandstand final finish between those two to duke it out for who gets home field in the first round. Still all to play for at this stage.
And Hyannis has had Falmouth's number all year long.
1-0 is flown to Taylor in right field, coming in on it and makes the grab for the first out of the top of the 8th.
Yeah, good play by Taylor, covering a lot of ground to get out there. But yes, Hyannis has had the upper hand all season long, but recently, finally, Falmouth got a win against Hyannis, so you really never know.
Talk about it. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day. It's because of how equal these teams are on the Cape. Fly ball to center field. Mitchell positions under, takes a step to his left, and makes the grab. Alex Lane now comes in to be a defensive change to Brandon Ike on the straight change for the second out. Now Matt Hallbach, first baseman, comes in.
Hallbach's from UC San Diego. Jacob Irons, what's the mascot?
Nothing and nothing pitch, comes in for strike. UC, so are they the, I'm stuck between San Diego and UC. It is Torero.
Yep.
Okay, I was right.
What
pitch
is it?
off the plate, 1-1. It's a
I don't know.
Torero. I don't know what it is. I just know that's what their mascot is.
That's a unique one.
1-1. Tip back into the padding behind home plate. 1-2.
A couple of my friends from high school play water polo there.
Water polo. That's cool.
Yeah. Water polo's big out on the West Coast.
Notre Dame has one of the top club teams, and that's what you see is for a lot of the majority of the water polo team comes from the California area. The 1-2 is line to Lane, and he lost it, bobbled it, had to try and throw over to the covering Armistead, but Armistead then couldn't be able to hold on to it. Hallback gets aboard safely finally. Now the interesting aspect of what it's ruled.
As Mickey the scorer with my scorer's hat on, I'm going to go error.
Eddie Micheletti looks at a pitch in the dirt that gets away from Thompson. Moving to second base will be Hallback.
Now that's another one. Wild pitch or pass ball.
I'd say wild pitch. I think that one caught a little dirt.
I think so as well.
Will be in
Thompson
an error.
Thompson did try to backhand it, which is interesting.
Pitch in for a strike on the bottom part of the zone.
Boy, Thompson comes right back with a great framing job. That pitch was below the knees, but able to come back up. Come through the ball as you're taught in pitch framing school.
1-1, grounded. Snow's unable to hold on to it. 89-mile-an-hour grounder that just ate Snow up. And then off the hop, couldn't be able to corral it. And Micheletti's able to get aboard. And moving to third, Hallbach, who was moving the entire time with 2 away.
Yeah, the McKeon Park infield has taken 2 victims here in the top of the 8th. First Lane, and now there with Snow on a bad hop.
King will get that down in front of Mitchell to score. Hallback. And a big single from Eddie King Jr. He continues to have a great night, especially as the game goes on. He's like a fine wine. Grounded out earlier in the game and then doubled in the 5th, come around to score. Had a single and a stolen base in the 7th to come around and score. Now a big RBI single here.
Yeah, he's had a great game. He's probably player of the game at this point. I don't know how much it's going to change between here and the 9th. 10-0 now. Hyannis still with 4 outs to get. We'll see if they send out a position player.
0-1. Breaking ball inside.
Yeah, the ground ball that ate up Snow by Micheletti has been ruled an E6.
Trying to think of more California school mascots that I could get Jacob with.
You're not getting them with many state school mascots.
0-1 is popped up into shallow right field, ranging out. It will get down in front of Gazdar. Coming in to score will be Micheletti. And advancing to third. And John Gazdar just tracking it the entire way, just drops a couple feet in front of him. Now 11-0, Firebirds lead.
Yeah, that's the story of the game right there. A bunch of bloops have just found outfield grass, and Orleans really just taking advantage.
Tuft pops it up to Gazdar at second base. Hyannis finally works out of the inning. Oh, they allow another one to play. They lead, another two, excuse me, to play. They lead 11-0 going into the bottom of the eighth.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Come back to the bottom of the eighth. Hyannis looking to try find themselves some runs to put themselves in decent positioning into the bottom of the ninth. Like we've talked about, Hyannis, though, they've made themselves a case in the later part of games.
Yeah, no, they've done a good job at coming back all year. Not sure if this one's going to happen, but you can always hang on the fact that you have 6 outs to play with. Only 11 runs, so I don't know, man.
It'll be a defensive change for the Firebirds.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Jake Casey will come in for Tremble in right field. A straight change.
Is that it?
That is it. That as far as
goodness.
I have seen so far.
After last week in Orleans, I got PTSD from that one, man.
Oh, really? That was the game I missed out on. Was there something I clearly missed something there?
So they took about 5 players, that's an exaggeration, but 5 players from their positions and told them to start pitching.
Oh, boy.
And then they had 80 million defensive substitutions.
Oh, man.
Kelly Nichols does a really great job, but, man, sometimes he's confusing.
Flies it into shallow left center field. And York's able to get one down into no man's land. Tuft gave a really good look at it to come in streaking for it. He's aboard to lead things off here in the home half of the eighth.
Good piece of hitting. Just able to find some outfield grass. I'll just keep the line moving. Why not? Get some runs here.
Brandon Ikey's back in the box for the Harbor Hawks.
Wait a minute.
And this.
Wait.
Ikey gets a hold of this one to center field. Underneath it is King for the first out.
You have a point. So
once again, you can bat out of order if you want, if no one catches it. But however, Kelly Nicholson, if anything was to happen, could say he batted out of order, and whatever the result was, it would be an automatic out.
Because there was the defensive substitution
Correct,
in the previous inning, bringing in Alex Lane, but it doesn't seem anybody caught the fact that Brandon Ike, the original first baseman, is back.
It's a bunt put down by Will Taylor. And on the sacrifice moves York over to second base. Now 1-3 puts 2 away to bring up Bennett Thompson.
Good catch, Jacob.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, Sac State.
49ers, right?
Nope.
Sacramento State. They're not the 49ers.
That's.
Is that just
Who is that?
Nothing pitch. In for a strike on Bennett Thompson. I can see their logo, right? It's a U with S. Oh no, that's San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Oh, Sac State.
The Dons. Ball trickles in from the bullpen.
Sacramento. What conference do they play out of?
Big Sky.
Oh boy.
FCS, but still Division One.
It is still Division One out of the Big Sky. Sac State. Ooh. Pitch on the outer part of the plate, 1-1.
A lot of good baseball coming out of Sacramento State. They've made the NCAA tournament. They've made a College World Series as well.
Learn something new every day.
Thompson's able to get it through the gap between Penny and Oyama. They'll wheel York around. The loading throw from King pulls Hunter offline. Harborhawks able to get their first run across here in the bottom half of the 8th off of a speedy Zach York.
Yeah, York's hit was the first hit for Hyannis since all the way back in the 3rd. And, well, there's number 2, another clean base hit from Bennett Thompson. Saw him walk off Wareham just 2 days ago, and there's another one splitting the gap. Nice, hard, solid contact. And there's something for Hyannis to take away from this. They got on the board. Better late than never.
Trey Lipsy now into the box, 0-0 pitch. He looks at is a strike.
You want to take a crack at Sac State?
Are you kidding me?
You ready to give up?
I didn't even know these people existed before you brought that up. I have no idea. Does it have something to do, like, could I guess it based off of California tendencies?
No.
Okay, then probably, then I have no guess.
Sac State Hornets.
Oh. I think you've talked about them before.
Yeah. How about UC Davis?
The Anteaters, right? No, that's Irvine. That's Irvine.
Yep.
Give me a second. It'll come.
UC Santa Cruz is my next one. Start thinking about that one. But
oh, jeez.
My God.
Another weird one. Another very weird one, though.
0-2. Misses off the plate. 1-2.
I'll just sit on the back burner for that conversation. I have just no idea.
UC Davis is a lot harder than Sac State. I will admit that. Not as known for athletics, more so research-based university.
1-2 to come to Lipsy. Upstairs and away, 2-2. Ooh. UC Davis. Give me a sec. What conference? Are they out of the Big Sky too?
Yes.
Oh boy, that is my probably.
I can't fault you for this because you're from the East Coast. And this is probably the last conference you went to when you were memorizing schools.
2-2 to Lipsy. Holds on a pitch off the plate, loading the count full. It'll come.
I believe in you. No guess on. I just want to say UC Santa Cruz's.
Oh, but Santa Cruz is the Banana Slugs.
Yes, there you go.
It's a swing and a miss from Trey Lipsy for the 3rd out in the bottom of the 8th. We push on to the 9th. It's 11-1. Orleans leading the Harborhawks.
Diet Coke? Who are you, my mom?
You should be so lucky. Because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Go to the 9th here. It's Will Armistead back out for another inning of work, his 3rd of the outing. Lane comes back out to play first base as well. Very interesting call that had Ike to the box.
Yeah, they're going to keep Armistead out there instead of throwing a position player to pitch. So Armistead is going to enter his 3rd inning of work here. He's given up 5 hits, 5 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts.
He'll face 9-1-2 in this spot for the Firebirds, looking to tack on him. Like we talk about, even in this late game where you think it's a little bit of a blowout, run differential still matters, especially down this stretch right now for this team, to try and just be able to get up on that tie break if necessary with the same amount of points.
Yeah, we talked about Katuit's run differential getting.
Hunter flies it to left field. Lipsy moves himself under it to make the grab. 1 retired here in the top of the 9th.
Getting destroyed by Katuit's run differential, getting destroyed by Falmouth the other day in a 27-2 stomping. Now Hyannis is going to have to deal with some run differential adversity of for themselves.
Nothing pitch inside the Joe Oyama. 1-0.
How great has he been today? In the field with a bat in his hand, a walk in the 4th, a walk in the 2nd, single in the 1st. This guy just finds way to create havoc on the diamond.
We talked about 2 of the leading contenders in this league's MVP chase between Cam Smith and Joe Oyama is humongous.
A lot of the MVP candidates have seen Hyannis in the last couple of days. YD and Derek Bender, Derek Bender.
Oyama will get that one, and it hops off the wall. Oyama's speed wheels him around first. He comes in standing with a double. His good night continues, Joe Oyama's does. He stands in scoring position now, as a little more clarity we have gotten on the Brandon Ike hit is he will now move from 1st to 3rd, pulling Cam Smith out of the game for the Harbor Hawks, as it's finally been told to us through the official score here today.
Smith deserves a couple of innings off. He's played in every game here for Hyannis this year. Leads the league in at-bats, leads the league in hits, leads the league in every one of the counting stats that show volume of at-bats, and finally getting a couple of innings off. We've seen that a couple of times. We saw that last time Hyannis was playing Orleans when they were blowing him out later in the game. Hyannis pinch hit for him.
One now to come to Armistead on Casey. He looks at a ball down low.
Just want to go back to that conversation about run differential. The game that these two teams will play in a few days' time, should Orleans win it, will level them on the head-to-head. So that could mean that 10 runs getting tacked onto Orleans' run differential of +6 right now could play a lot more of a factor here, because YD is at 36. That's well ahead of them. But should Orleans tack on a lot more games like this, put on extra runs, and YD maybe drop a few games, that could set up for these two teams to meet on the second to last day of the season. With first place hanging in the balance, run differential could really be the decider.
Casey looks at a strike. Payoff pitch now to come from Armistead.
Hyannis still in control of their own destiny, though.
Comes inner part of the plate. Casey struck out looking.
Nicely done right there. Snuck it through the front door. Able to just freeze Trimble. And now got to get through Penny. One more hitter. Gee, I wonder where he goes to school.
Goes to Notre Dame, of course.
I finally got it this time.
You did. Only took you 9 innings.
Big swing and a miss earlier in the game by me.
Penny fouls it away, 0-1. Jack Penny, the lone domer out here on Cape Cod. Was an all-star starter at third base for the East Division. Instead deals the pitch that comes back into the zone. 84 miles an hour. Armistead ahead in the count, 0-2. Two misses off the plate. Now 1-2 on the 78-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
Just got a text from my mom. She said she's disappointed in you that you couldn't name UC mascots.
Yeah. Tell her I'm disappointed in myself. I got the banana slugs.
That's good. I mean, come on. That's the important one.
1-2 upstairs. 85-mile-an-hour gets past the swinging Jack Penny. Harbor Hawks will need 10 in the bottom of the ninth to try and push the extra inning. Stay with us right here, Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
Colton Sundloff comes in out of the University of San Diego and Erta, Utah, to try and close this door here for the Firebirds.
Yeah, Orleans up big right now, 11-1. And they will continue throwing arms out there, capable arms, pitchers, actual pitchers, no position players. Got to respect it from Kelly Nicholson down the stretch. Probably understands the importance of run differential right now, so keeping this at 10, it would be huge for Orleans.
He understands the late power Hyannis can take on, especially he saw it himself, what they had as Orleans had in the last meeting. It was really a closed ball game. Hyannis was leading, and then they respond for a large majority of their runs in the bottom of the ninth in their last meeting.
And you see why Hyannis is first in the league in batting average and second in the league in OPS. You saw that last week. Now, Orleans has really put on a very impressive display because they've shut that same offense down and limited them to only 1 run in their own house at McKeon Park, where Hyannis has been so good all year long.
And it was the starting pitch of Romero, who went 6 innings today. Skadar brushed back.
Hyannis 14-5 at home coming into today.
And was on a 7-game home winning streak coming into this one as well. That looks, if this score holds, to end tonight.
John will get hit by a pitch, second of the game for the Hawks. As here you see number 59 of the year. I'm going to work on finding out what the record is for hit by pitches. Hit him right on that elbow guard, so no harm, no foul, but that'd be interesting to see.
It really will be. We'll maybe have to send off an email. Snow's able to get it into the gap, rolling to the streaking Casey over. It'll be station to station, though, for Gazdar over to second base. Snow works it through the gap.
Good piece of hitting right there. Outer third of the plate with a fastball, able to stay within himself and just shoot it in right center field. But good play by Casey to get over to the gap, deep into the gap, and cut it off before it hit the fence, showing off a little bit of his range.
Auburn Hawks turn things over now to Nick Mitchell in the top of the lineup.
Yeah, Snow just also showing how much he likes that right side, being able to just punch that through the opposite field. Good work from Snow. We've seen him do it at Chatham. We've seen him do it at Bourne, and again, seeing it here tonight at home.
Mitchell looks at a pitch off the plate.
You got an answer on UC Davis?
1-0, in for strike 1-1. I do not.
The Aggies.
Oh, I definitely knew that one. I did. That one just did not come.
For those of you that don't know, Jacob Irons' mascot knowledge is otherworldly.
1-1 to Mitchell is backhanded by Oyama. Throw wide and over the head of Penny at second base. Now bases loaded with still nobody away here in the bottom of the ninth.
Good piece of hitting, just hit it hard to Oyama. Took a weird hop on him. He did a good job of corralling it, but threw it over everybody's head. Here you see, maybe not hit quite as hard, but Oyama does a great job of retreating on it and making a backhand play. Just couldn't finish it.
Alex Lane now settles in. Now with bases loaded, and is trailing by 10, trying to make some bottom of the ninth magic once again in their season. Oh, 1. Lane looks at, goes low, 1-1. Taps it over to Penny, who loses it again. Now 2 errors to Jack Penny's day. Harbor Hawks able to get a run across here. Still nobody retired.
Well, they're putting up a fight here in the top of the ninth. And now Zach York will come to the mound. As there you see Lane just grounding that one to short. Unable to corral it. Penny, that was a pretty routine play, but another ball booted by Orleans. So mound visit here from Hunter, just going and tell him it's not his fault. And now Kelly Nicholson is going to make a trip to the mound.
We'll make a trip to the mound here as pitchers start running in from the bullpen, but
then he turned around.
As soon as Kelly Nicholson gave him a little bit of a hand there to send him back. He's having a conversation with his pitcher, Sunloff. Quick conversation.
Tells him keep going.
Yeah.
Kelly Nicholson will normally make those mountain visits himself instead of a pitching coach. Their pitching coach being Jim Lawler.
Jack Penny will position himself past the second base bag. York looks at a pitch upstairs, 1-0. And now Stallman, the lone man to the left side of the diamond. 1-0 to York. Finds the zone, 1-1. Look at that big gap on that left side of the infield, as well as the gap between Tuft and King, with Tuft playing close to the foul line in left field.
Now 2-1 on York. Hyannis just trying to keep the line moving here. If anything, improve the run differential.
Pitch upstairs to Zach York. 3-1. No place to put York.
Ooh.
Pitch that catches the inner part of the zone.
Really good pitch. Just came right back in. York kind of shook his head, but it looked like it caught the inner third.
Payoff pitch to come to York. Upstairs, ball that will walk in. Eric Snow. Mitchell moves to third. Lane to second. York now stands at first. Still nobody retired here in the ninth. Now some motion down in the Firebirds bullpen starting with Brandon Ike now coming to the plate.
This is what you love to see from Hyannis, just fighting back, still taking really good at-bats.
Ike flies that one to King. He positions himself under it, and with his strong arm, does not move Mitchell at third base. First out here in the home half of the ninth.
Yeah, it kind of went to show the power of Ike. It looked like it was kind of in off his hands, but able to lift that one out to center field. It kind of initially looked like an infield fly ball, but kept carrying.
Pitch upstairs, Will Taylor takes. Taylor with bases loaded. The 1-0 from Sunloft to Taylor in the dirt. 2-0, though check down on the peel to Warren Nicholson. The first base umpire says he did not go around. 2-0.
Might be able to hear the whale calls through your crowd mic, through our crowd mic right there.
Taylor now ahead in the count, 3-0. No place to put him. Bases still loaded here. Sunloft pitches an 88-mile-an-hour get-me-over pitch, 3-1. Hyannis trailing the Firebirds 11-3 here in the bottom of the ninth. Pitch low. Taylor works a walk. Mitchell will come in to score. It's now an 11-4 ball game.
Yeah, Hyannis continues to get the line moving. Bennett Thompson comes to the plate. Kelly Nicholson behind the screen will stay in the dugout.
Starting to get a little bit of a warm-up down the line as pitch in to Thompson, 1-0.
And he's a guy who's made solid contact, as there we see the bullpen action.
1-0 for strike. As Mauricio Rodriguez from Rice starting to warm up in the bullpen. Another quick pitch. Thompson, who's behind in the count, 1-2.
Can't be understated how big this win for Orleans would be should they hold on.
1, 2, 6.
Thompson now gets back into the box after the stoppage in play as the ball that got away from the bullpen.
Such a close division race at the top of the East.
2 upstairs at 91 miles an hour, tying the count at 2 apiece.
And independently, we've talked about how home teams have such an advantage on Cape versus road teams, and the records of home versus road are huge.
2-2 is turned on and fouled by Thompson.
The differences between home records and road records, the worst teams in the league still have home records near 500 and road records, you know, the best teams in the league have near 500 road records as well.
2-2. Thompson takes the 78-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Great discipline.
So getting that home field advantage in the playoffs is massive given the win percentage of home teams.
I'm now 2-6.
Payoff pitch is tapped into the Harbor Hawks dugout.
And you can hear the words of encouragement through the crowd, Mike, there, that they still feel alive, have a chance here, should they be able to put the ball in play.
Payoff delivery is low in the dirt. Lane will come in for another walk. It's now 11-5. Hyannis trailing the Firebirds.
And it looks like Kelly Nicholson will stay in the dugout once again. Another walk, the third of the inning. Fourth if you include the hit by pitch. So now Trey Lipsy comes to the plate.
Yeah, each batter, each run scoring, that's a run closer to getting within slam range, and still only 1 out, and Trey Lipsy up. That could be getting a lot more dangerous should we sneak up to a few more runs with the top of the order lurking soon.
Lipsy takes a pitch. They'll have the shift on to Lipsy. Penny goes over the second base bag to the right side of the infield, leaving Stallman again by himself on the left side. Lipsy tries to go the other way. It's a fly ball into foul territory, and leading out, it'll not be a catch. It'll be a foul ball. Tuft went out diving for it, but lost it on the spin move.
Harbor Hawks bullpen having some fun out there in left field with Tuft. That was a great effort. Try and lay out for it. Just to show the talent out here on Cape. Everybody wanting to win every single game. Fighting for every inch.
(1-1) to Lipsy. He's grounded. A fair ball mishandled by Hallback. Coming over to cover in time is Sunloft, but York will be able to come in to score. It's now 11-6. Harbor Hawks trailing by 5.
This might be the hardest hit ball all inning as Hallback does a good job after recovering after kind of booting it a little bit. Came up off of his wrist just above his glove, but was able to find the ball, keep it in front of him, and shovel it on to first.
Krasdor looks at a pitch in. Now the 10th batter of this bottom of the 9th for the Harbor Hawks, with 2 in scoring position, trying to tack on for a couple more. 1-0 to the Austin P. Governor, misses low, 2-0. Five runs here for the Harbor Hawks in the bottom of the 9th. 2-0. Finds the zone. 2-1.
I don't want to get anybody's head up or anything, but
Gazdar able to boop that one down in front of Tuft. They'll send Thompson around. The throw home. They got him. It was an aggressive send by Eric Luxus. Bennett Thompson tried to move him around, but that will do it here tonight. Harbor Hawks tried to fight themselves back into this one. The deficit was just too large.
Yeah, they put up a heck of a fight, brought, you know, the tying run into the hole, but given where they were coming into the inning and even into the eighth, it seemed extremely hopeless. So the fact that they got the tying run within 3 hitters due up, like that's pretty impressive. It goes to show the fight that this team has, and ultimately that'll serve them well, and including the run differential being saved tonight.
Yeah, and you see Gazdar again continuing his hot streak, putting a bat on ball, and then, yeah, this is an aggressive send from Eric Luxus, but you have to try and be a bit aggressive in these kinds of situations, and it just doesn't pay off for them. But still a hard fight, scoring 6 runs in that bottom of the 9th for Hyannis, making it a lot closer of a game than it initially seemed.
11-7 your final. Harbor Hawks doing a good job of responding for, once again, another 6th inning in the bottom of the 9th. It just comes up too short. For Michael Kirsting, Mickey Doolittle, Nico Sharp, Josh Schreiber, Mike Maynard, Mackenzie Kielblock, Bria Losick, and our broadcast supervisors, Abby Stokes and Austin Dakuda. I'm Jacob Iron saying so long. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Gov Fuller Field, and a big one in the West Division.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history.
My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family.
There's no family.
There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not gonna have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.